I woke up to my phone vibrating like it knew something I didn't. Like it had gossip, like it had teeth, like it was grinning. Candlesticks climbing like they're late for a meeting with God. Every red day I survive now feels fake in hindsight. I used to flinch at the tickers like they were jump scares. Now they're confetti cannons duct taped to my self-esteem. I've been wrong with confidence right by accident. Pay rent with adrenaline and stubbornness. They said be careful, I said define careful. I said define gravity while you're at it. Every headline reads like a dare. Every dot I had just quietly packed his bags. Yeah, I finally shut up. Yeah, finally shut up. I remember counting losses like rosary beads, praying to charts like they could hear me breathe. Now the screen looks back like you good, and for once I actually am. It just keeps going up. It just keeps going up. Say what you want, say I'm out of my mind. It just keeps going up. It just keeps going up. It just keeps going up. I try to doubt it, I really did, but it just keeps going on. I've been stapling hope to logic, calling it strategy. Learning patience from the least patient thing on earth. Every pullback felt personal, like a betrayal arc. Now my portfolio's doing victory laps around my anxiety. I used to refresh like I was checking a pulse. Now I refresh like I'm watching fireworks reload. Everybody's got a theory, everybody's got a crash date. Funny how they only show up when it's green. I don't feel lucky, I feel vindicated. Like every night I stayed up arguing with myself. Mattered, this isn't euphoria, it's relief with better posture. This is me standing up straight for once. Look at it move. It just keeps going up. It just keeps going up. Say what you want, say I'm out of my mind. It just keeps going up. It just keeps going up. It just keeps going up. I try to doubt it, I really did, but it just keeps going on. Maybe it crashes tomorrow, maybe it doesn't. Maybe I stop pretending I can outsmart momentum. I'm done arguing with numbers that don't feel fear. I'm done mistaking caution for intelligence. Let it run, let it be loud, let it make liars out of all of us. Let it run, yeah, let it run. It just keeps going up. It just keeps going up. Say what you want, say I'm out of my mind. It just keeps going up. It just keeps going up. It just keeps going up. I try to doubt it, I really did, but it just keeps going on.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Kohrs Show, where today we have a little bit of a specialty show. Folks, today, hang on, I just messed something up over here. Obviously, we're rocking it. It's a Friday. It's a beautiful Friday, and it happens to not only be a beautiful Friday, an inflation report CPI Friday, so we're starting early. It is a Lucky Buffalo Shirt Friday, but it is also the final Friday, the final stream that I'm going to have in this particular studio. Your boy is moving. This will be the final show in this studio as of 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'll be packing up and loading on out and getting a place that is a wee bit bigger. And by a wee bit bigger, I mean I'm basically no longer going to have a shoebox in Manhattan, and it's time for your boy to become a little bit of an adult and get a slightly bigger place. So very, very excited to not only be saving money, but also getting into a larger place. It feels like a win-win when you're getting out of Manhattan because you get to size up and spend less. So I have to admit, I am pretty excited about that. Where am I going, folks? Going back to my mom's basement. That's where we started this journey. That's where I spent 2 decades of my life before that. So 2 decades of life, started the content journey. You know, all roads lead back to my mom's basement. All roads lead back. So I'm pretty stoked about it. We haven't told Piper yet, so please, no one, I guess, like, don't let the cat out of the bag and tell my cat, because I don't think she's going to be the best with change, but we're going to see how that one's playing out. So, folks, I hope you're having a good day. I can't spend too long on this intro because we are about to get the inflation report. So I want to show you what's going on there. Stock futures slip as traders await big consumer inflation report. Treasury yields inch higher as key consumer inflation report comes into focus. And we're talking about the January CPI. The January CPI inflation report is due in about 1 minute. And right now, the line in the sand is 2.5% year over year and 0.3% month over month. That is the expectation. And when they have these days, our boy Rick Santilli should be giving it to us. So let's get this ready. Let's get the 15-second up. Let's get CNBC to actually work, because we never want to miss a day with Rick. We never want to miss a day with Rick. All right, we have the volume there. Folks, did you see how I got the transitions working? Boom. Look at that transition. I guess I need one back to here, but look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's nice. So anyway, we have Rick. It'll be released in 30 seconds. So this is your 25-second warning. What are you guys guessing? Bullish, bearish, somewhere in between? Let me know, let me know, let me know, let me know. You only have a couple seconds to guess. If you guess after it, it does not count. The SPY getting trashed yesterday, dropping 1.5%. The Q's down 2, the Russell down 2. It was a bloodbath yesterday, but will this make it worse? Or are we going to get a magical recovery? Leak? Did someone leak it? Did you see that pop before? Dude, what did you guys see what I just saw there? Did you guys see what I saw? Right before the release, someone was buying it up, like seconds before. Little bit sketchy. We caught it on stream. We caught it in 4K. 10 seconds before, someone jacked it up about 50 cents. They got in before. Interesting, if you ask me. All right, let's see. Bullish so far.
We are waiting for the delayed CPI, and it is just crossing. And an upside surprise here, or
hell
a downside
yeah, brother.
surprise, year over year at 2.4.
Hell yeah, brother.
At 2.5%. And I think one of the reasons is this
interesting.
Rent of, owner's equivalent rent coming in at a relatively low 0.2%. Energy down 1.5%, gasoline down 3.2%, new vehicle sales up 0.2. I am looking.
Oops, I did not mean to do that. I just want to make this bigger. Come on. Where's Rick? Where's Rick? Did I somehow? Oh, it logged me out. Son of a gun. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Stay signed in. It logged me out. How could they do that to me?
So a relatively big move in the 10-year. And let's look at what happened in the stocks. They were negative going into this number. I think this gives the Fed some leeway here. I'm going to try to look at the individual sectors here, but it looks like this is overall a very tame CPI. The fear
Very
going into this, Kelly.
CPI, initial reaction positive.
4 Januaries in a row of upside surprises or relatively elevated inflation. This would be the month where price increases are passed along. It didn't look like that happened. What I was unable to look at and what I will look at is the goods category.
So let's show 407. We were at 420 on the 10-year on Wednesday morning after that jobs report. Just show everyone, if you can, in the back real quickly, the whole Treasury complex. Because, again, on a week where we've heard that David Einhorn is betting on lower short-term rates, you just heard from the Treasury Secretary saying this is hopefully the game plan, that you can have a strong economy and low yields. And a weaker than expected CPI now has the 10-year at 408. So we're starting to look back at that 4% level. We only briefly went below back in October of last year. And the 2-year is falling as well, as you can see, down to 341. Steve, quick last comment, very quickly.
Yields are
Fed.
dropping.
Yeah, I'm looking at this commodities
Dollars dropping.
sector. This is the good sector.
Bonds are
and we're
up.
just not seeing the pass along that people expected inside the goods that might
just
be
very
tariffed here.
quickly
So
gave it back.
maybe we've been there, done that. We did have an increase in those goods from tariffs.
Where's
And
Rick?
maybe we're at the point where that's a done deal now, which would be a very positive development. And just looking up, the energy complex helped. Food up a little bit. So medical care costs up a little bit, but it was that shelter number coming in at 0.2 that really, I think, helped the overall index, Kelly.
Immediately sent futures into the green. We'll see if they stay there. Crypto getting a bit as well.
Yeah.
That's saying something right now. Steve, thank
Bitcoin
you.
bouncing
I
from
really
66
appreciate it.
to
Again, we're trying to
67.
stay positive. Let's get back out to Joe, who is in Pebble Beach with much more. Joe?
What's in Pebble Beach?
Yep, I am. And earlier on Squawk Box, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announcing the launch of a whistleblower website in an effort to root out financial fraud.
We are encouraging whistleblowers who know about fraud, people who are stealing from the American taxpayer, to come forward. At Treasury, we're setting up a website, and we will be giving rewards up to 10 to 30% of the fines that we levy.
Secretary also making news this morning about hearings for Fed Chair nominee Kevin Warsh.
My understanding is that we are going to proceed with the hearings. Senator Tillis wants to
I
keep
have a
a
little
hold
bit on
on
that.
any vote with Kevin Warsh leaving committee, making it to the full Senate. But I think it's important to get the hearings underway, and I think we have an agreement to do that.
And joining us now, Jimmy Dunn, Vice Chairman and Senior Managing Principal at Piper Sandler. Great golfer.
No more.
And you're giving me some swing thoughts. You think maybe
You're too negative.
I have some bad
Picking up.
drama going on.
I would not want to be you. In your mental framework, you gotta stop.
Jimmy,
You're a disaster.
I have a disaster. We just heard about Warsh, and we were talking off camera about Kevin. You've been a fan for how long?
Well,
20 years?
First of all, I'm delighted. I've known him a long time. He was the youngest Fed governor. He's been through a real crisis. He's incredibly bright, but he also is very much in touch. I'm really delighted. A little surprised that he's going to be independent. I mean, he's going to do what he thinks
You're
is right.
surprised because if you believed what are they? The nattering nabobs of negativity about Fed independence. They said Trump would never pick anyone.
He did.
And
he picked an independent.
He knew he was going to be independent too, didn't he? So
I think down deep, you got to get through that veneer of Trump. You don't really know what. But he knows. I mean, if you talk to Kevin long enough, you know one thing: he's smarter than you, and he's going to do what he thinks is right.
better looking.
I don't think Trump's going to like
He's a little
that.
overrated on that, but that's all he's overrated on, frankly. He's a little skinny, you know.
Oh, God.
No, he's really.
Are we body
and the thing
shaming
is,
the new
he's,
Fed?
He's for like intelligent regulation. The naysayers will say, "Oh, this will be a free for all." You're out of your mind. He wrote an op-ed about a year and a half ago, I remember, and he talked about how and I'm sensitive to this because of financials. The regulations for the big banks were really just going to hurt the smaller banks.
To go.
And that's exactly what happened. It wasn't too big to fail. It was too small to survive.
Just above yesterday's
So he's going
close.
he'll bring a real intellect, a real independence, and he understands the markets. He understands the economy. I'm thrilled with that choice.
I have been out here, so I'm not watching things quite so quickly. It's 4:07. I thought we were off to the races on the 10-year. Does this surprise you?
Bonds
where we
are
this
really
is
going
really
right
positive.
now.
I mean, maybe it's down because of rest of quality, because of the stock market, maybe the software stocks are selling off, or is it that inflation is not really going to be as bad as we think?
Well, he'll be sensitive to inflation. I can promise you that.
But are you surprised as a bond expert at 407?
I'm surprised.
Aren't we headed up, not down on the 10-year?
I don't know.
Yield.
I'm not sure. I think you could get the curve. I think the way you could do that is the curve could steepen. And I think that'd be the logical bet. So you could have the 10-year go lower and the curve still, the 2-year go down quite a bit. So I think you could see a steepening of the curve. I actually think the markets are in pretty good shape. I'm always kind of involved along with financials. I've been doing that. So, and I look at it that it's hard for me to ever say anything negative about it because I'm always involved with it. The reality is down deep, I know when I feel better or not. And right now I'm loaded, and I feel
Who
better
is this
about
dude?
where the economy, where the financials are. I think, and that to me means a more positively sloped yield curve and probably lower rates.
You finally did a deal, right? There's still some consolidation.
I didn't do it. The brilliant guys that are behind me.
A little
at
bit of a
Sandler
breakdown
that
here.
have, the firm has done so well. I think they did 35 deals last year.
There's a big
I'm
one, though.
excited about what's going on.
Yeah,
with
tell
deals.
me. Well-
I want to go back to work, frankly.
So yeah, me too. That's
Well,
fine.
I really, I'm not. Don't have any fear. I'm not coming back. But I mean, it's exciting. I mean, you have the first time, and they said this the other day. When you go to a regulatory body, it's not just no. It's maybe let me understand it, and therefore, and then CEOs are older. So there's going to be a lot of deals. We're up 30% from 24 to 25. You're up another 30, 40% on deals from 25 to 26. I mean, it's going to be active. I wish I was back in there, frankly.
What was the team that was there besides Notre Dame? I'm trying to figure out.
Miami?
No.
Miami should have been there. Oklahoma and Alabama. We should have been ahead of them.
That shouldn't have been.
Well, look, I mean, it's a subjective thing. Whenever you have a subjective, you're going to have a problem.
That was sort of.
Look, if you don't know who the fool is in the room, it's you. Okay, and that's what happened.
What is
to
this
us,
guy
all
going
right?
on about?
But that's life, and we know what we have to do next year.
This is. I see the scars covered over.
I'm not happy. But we got.
I thought that was egregious. I'm from Cincinnati, so Notre Dame was like.
The process was egregious because basically they did the thing a certain way for 5 weeks, and then for all those guys that were committed to that process, they totally reversed themselves.
So how much?
But that's life.
How much
Get
can
used
a
to it.
quarterback make in college now?
A good one?
Yeah.
Well, I know what he makes at Notre Dame, but I understand it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 million. I don't know what everybody is doing. Well, it can, yeah, if you get the
college.
In college.
What are we going to do?
Well, the where it is right now, I almost feel like, and particularly always have a Notre Dame viewpoint, is we'd be better with no rules because we're going to be the only one paying attention to the rules. So they might as well just say, okay, they said 9-0 in the Supreme Court that they ought to get paid. So that rock started going down the hill. I don't disagree with that. But now it's just this free-for-all of different people doing different things and picking the system apart. I almost think they either have to come in with a total, this is how we're doing it, I think a floor and a cap, and every dollar has to be accounted for, or just say the rules are off and do what you need to do. I think we'd be better off that way. I think personally, because we're the only one, maybe a couple other schools, Army and Navy would pay attention to the rules, but that's about it.
I think there's teas at Spyglass if you're
I'm bummed.
80.
This is now boring. I don't know who Jimmy is, but they're not giving us Rick. And a day when you don't give us Rick is a travesty, if you ask me. But anyway, folks, if you're just tuning in right now, we just got the CPI inflation report. As you can see on the top of the screen, consumer prices rose 2.4% annually in January, less than expected. So we're in this pretty interesting situation where inflation is below expectations and the job market is showing more strength. We just got, remember, the jobs data this past Wednesday. We got it for the month of January. And just this morning at 8:30 a.m., if you're tuning in right now, we just got it a couple minutes ago. We got the CPI, the Consumer Price Index. So maybe I could show you a little bit better over here. Just want to kind of show you what's going on. And let me get in on this account. Hang on. Is this not loading? This is taking awkwardly long. But, whoa. So they were expecting 2.5, came in at 2.4 for the year over year for the month of January. For month over month, they were expecting 0.3, came in at 0.2. And then core CPI, taking out food and energy, they were expecting 0.3 and it came in at 0.3. So core month over month was at expectations. Headline CPI, headline inflation year over year, slightly less than expected. Month over month, also headline less than expected. So inflation coming in lower than expectations. And then also, I just want to remind you, jobs came in better than expected. Non-farm payrolls, 130 versus 66. Unemployment rate, they were expecting 4.4, came in at 4.3%. So this week, we found out that we have a stronger job market than expected and lower inflation than expected, at least the line in the sand relative to what Wall Street was looking at, which is kind of interesting. beings what just happened in the market. Let me go out to the daily here. I mean, we got destroyed yesterday, minus 1.5%. We opened up, had a little bit of life, and then it just absolutely puked. It just kept puking and puking and puking. So pretty brutal. I mean, if you ask me, it's a bit of an overreaction. We did crack the 50 EMA, which I don't like. Obviously, things, in my opinion, would get worse if we take out the other flush low that we had on Thursday of last week, Thursday, February the 5th. So I'm watching that. But putting these reports together, like, you would think that from the fundamental standpoint, people would be liking what's going on. But in reality, we are range bound. I know no one really wants to hear it, but if you look at it, we're just caught in, and we've been kind of caught in this range for a while. We're not really making fresh highs. We're not really making fresh lows. I'm not saying it's absolutely perfect, but overall, you can say halfway through December, about halfway through December until now, we are not trending. I would say coming into this, the bulls were in control. Yeah, you're seeing kind of steeper highs, and the lows are kind of equal. So it's like neutral leaning bullish on the daily chart. Obviously, I would change my tune if we break below 675, especially closing below 675. But overall, it's just not a trendy market. And we're seeing that elsewhere. You could see the cues even more evident. The range is large, but I mean, look at, we haven't broken those highs. We haven't broken these lows. We made the high on late October of last year, and then the lows in late November. Since then, we have not taken out that high. We have not taken out that low. Small cap sector, it's still range bound, but it's a little bit more shorter of a period. That's more of like the past month-ish. Obviously, a little bit of a stronger trend. So right now, depending on your time frame, you're probably awkwardly waiting for something to actually develop here. But once again, that's if you're looking at the daily. Obviously, intraday and or medium term, let's say you're looking at the 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, you're definitely seeing some movement that could probably best be expressed here. Looking at the 30-minute on NQ, there's been, like, if you're catching these moves, these are clearly large moves. Speaking of which, we might be seeing an attempt at a bullish reversal on the 30-minute. It looks like it has to take out 857. This is the 50 EMA for the 30-minute chart on NQ for all the prop traders in here. So I'd be watching that. I did take a little bit of a long here. I'm barely green right now. I just took a stab at it because we popped, we pulled back, we popped. I saw a higher low. I took this long. I'm risking this recent low. We did take out the high, which I like. The high right where my cursor is from 835. Unfortunately, we did not get the follow through to the 830 high, which is what I was looking for. So I went from being slightly up to right now I'm slightly down. Obviously, I'm just risking the recent low. Just a little bit more of a fun day trade, a Friday fun day, payday Friday trade. I mean, obviously, I'm really just not risking that much. I'm break even right now. I was really hoping that this follow through, this impulse would at least tie the initial reaction. This was 8:30:33. So 33 seconds after the report. So I was hoping the follow through would tie that. We didn't get that. That doesn't make me feel the best. Obviously, I don't want it to take out this recent low. Had I sized down, as in trading micros instead of minis, I could have risked this actual low here at 832. So with appropriate sizing, you could definitely give yourself a little bit more leeway for it to work out. Just wanted to call that out. But right here, I see the pump, the pullback, higher highs, higher lows. So just kind of waiting to see if this trend will continue, or are we actually going to break down and it's going to cost me some money. We'll find out very, very shortly. But I'm effectively break even right now. So I just took it. Not the best in terms of like deep fundamental analysis. This is more of an active trade. With active trading, I care about the risk reward. I care about the momentum. I care. Wow. Okay, well, that happened very, very quickly. What the hell was that? That was a bit of a liquidity smash. Look at that. That just dumped on me for one quick second. Did something else just get announced? That was, look at this. Look at this on Bookmap. Boom. What was that volume? Someone just dumped, how much? What's the volume there? I can't see. Volume 19. Someone dumped roughly 200 contracts of NQ. That's pretty brutal, and it just knocked me out. But whatever, that's why you have your risk. Like I took a stab at it. That was definitely within my acceptable risk tolerance, and knowing my luck, it's going to go from there, which I almost wonder if I want to re-enter. And once again, then I would have better defined risk. Do I want to take the shot? What time is it? It's 8:47. Oh, let's see. How lucky are we going to be with this particular event? Obviously, the initial reaction was bullish. I just got, unfortunately, like literally wicked out at the bottom right there. That's unfortunate. What is that high? That high is 57. The risk would be 30. So it's risking 27 points. That's about just under $600. It is a low right in between. The reward would be all the way up at 823 or maybe even more. So the reward is definitely more than the risk, but it's just a little frothy right now. I mean, we all just saw that random dump right there. Just someone market ordered it out and they said, nope. Obviously, it was quickly bought back up. People wanted to push it back to VWAP, to this point of equilibrium. Maybe another way to look at it is like they try to flush it below VWAP here. I wonder if I should buy this VWAP recovery or if I should wait for market open. The reason I have a bullish bias is basically because the market popped in the reaction and I'm saying, okay, maybe it's not going to get faded. All right, I'll take a stab at it. We'll take a stab at it. Keeping the risk tight, like I said, just risking that low. And hopefully, if the market gods are nice today, we're going to get this breakout. Obviously, with that type of reward and this type of risk, I don't even have to be right 50-50 for this to be break even. When you have that much reward and on a relative basis, smaller risk, you don't even have to be right that often, which I think is commonly forgot in the world of retail trading. In the world of retail trading, there's almost this like emphasis or pressure that you have to be right all the time on every single trade. And I just don't believe in that. And I think anyone with a basic understanding of math would say, yeah, obviously you don't have to believe in that. Like, it's just not the math of the situation. It's keeping your risk in control relative to the risk I am taking and the reward I'm potentially looking for. That is good. Like I said, I don't even have to be right every other play to be net profitable. So I showed you guys all that yesterday and the day before and the day before, and hopefully I could show you that again. I'm just also going to let you know, we did get rejected clearly at 800, so I guess there was a bit of liquidity there. But if we can pump up and take out 800, there's not many people trying to sell there right now. This is Bookmap, by the way. If we take that out, which is a key psychological level, I'll move this stop to break even because that means I'm going to be 38.5 points in the money, which is pretty good. Like before, it didn't go enough. I probably should have gone to break even. I guess I was too busy chatting with you guys. But if we can take out 800, actually, I'll set an alert just so I don't miss that. I'll take all my risk off the table and we'll make it a freebie trade. Why not? Why not? If we can take out, we're battling it out. It was swiftly rejected there before. Let's just see. If we could take out that high, it's a fresh new high, sets us up for that test of 820, 830. But let's just see if we could take this out. I'm watching 24,800, pretty much where let me move myself over here, pretty much where my cursor is. The point of control, which is where most volume has been traded at this session, is this yellow line. And then the white line is the VWAP, the volume weighted average price. Today, they're pretty much stacked on top of each other. You know, do I just want to go break even right now? I might front. It didn't touch the level. Should I front run Icarus and just take all risk off the table? Make it a true freebie trade? Or do I want to give it a little bit more room? A little bit more time? Oh, I'm torn. It would be so much easier if this market just ripped all the way up to 800 and I could take all my risk off the table. Do I want to go stop? Do I want to do this? I kind of want to, but it's also early. It is also early. I don't know if I necessarily want to use 40. We're right at that trend line. It could be a rejection. I'm torn on this one because it is early. According to the system, it is early. It's a little too early because we didn't take out this previous high. But I can front run it and just take all risk off the table because, like, what if it is just rejected there and gets knocked? This is the break. Do I just want to move it up to 48? Do I want to lessen the risk? Or do I just want to really lessen it? I'm torn on this one, team. I'm torn on it. I'm not necessarily the biggest pre-market trader. I guess we're just having a little bit of Friday fun. The system says to keep it here for now, which would be easier to do if I didn't already get wicked out on a silly play. Oh, it would be easier to stick to said system It would. All right. I have some alert set. So we're going to leave it how it is for right now. I'm going to attempt to do everything to stick to the system accordingly. I took the long. Why did I take the long? Because the market, the initial reaction was positive. I waited for a pullback, tried to go long. Unfortunately, got stopped out, like literally just got wicked out. I got a fill at 32.50. It went down as deep as 29, like so wicked out to the tune of 2 or 3 points. Recovered from there. I went long again. I'm risking the low. It's just the name of the game is keep your risk in control. That is 100% what the name of the game is. So let's see if the market actually does react to this seemingly good inflation report. I'm saying it's good because inflation came in lower than hey, here's Piper. Inflation did come in lower than expectation. Ooh, I kind of like this setup because I could put my stop to break even and it's a different low. It's just, can we get Piper? What are you doing today? We're working right now. This is a professional show, Piper. She has no respect for this. No respect for the fact that this is a professional show, you know? No, absolutely no respect. Can you believe that? I took a long position. What do you think? What do you think about that? No? You just want to nap? Dude, cat loves napping. This cat loves napping. Napping's probably her favorite pastime and future time. Have you ever done any overnight futures trading? It's pretty good when Shanghai markets are open. I don't know how you're defining good. I mean, trading is trading. Yes, I've traded overnight. What happened to Ned? Ned died, dude. Ned was either overwatered or underwatered, but yeah, Ned is no longer with us, unfortunately. No longer with us. All right. So anyway, as you guys can see, I have a trade in, stops at break even. It's a free trade. When I say a free trade, it means I'm taking on no risk. I love lottery ticket trades. I know there's other members of the retail trading community and world who's like, no, you shouldn't be doing that. I love it. Like for me, it makes mathematical sense. It calms you down psychologically. It allows you to scale into other positions because your initial position's already riskless. I can only think of upside advantages for putting your stop at break even. I suppose you could argue the one trade-off is if you are too aggressive with it, you might get wicked out the way I was on a fake out move. But to me, that one potential downside is more than worth it for all the potential upside, as in I'm emotionally better. I'm literally taking all my risk off the table. I can add in more contracts. So if I'm really catching a trend, I can make even more money off of it. I love it. I obviously am by no means the person who pioneered the concept of moving your stop to break even, but I love it. I love it. We did crack 800, so now the system is saying get the stop to break even anyway. So I am exactly where I need to be. The trades are set up, so hopefully it just keeps going. I guess you never really know, but let me just get some alerts set up over here on this screen, and then we could kind of return to some of the other movement and some of the other news in the market. So I am attempting to catch this bullish trend. Right here, the 5-minute is going bullish, the 10-minute is going bullish, and I am patiently waiting to see if the 30-minute is going to test. Add alert. Well, how do I know that one? Well, anyway, right here, the 50 EMA on the 30-minute chart is around 24,855-ish. I'm looking for that. 5-minute has gone bullish. 10-minute has gone bullish. So waiting on that. S&P 500, the ES contract for the futures market, 5 minutes bullish, 10 minutes bullish. Same exact deal on the 30-minute. We're waiting to see if the 30-minute actually wants to reverse its trend from very evidently bearish to bullish. So let's wait on that. And then the 4-hour on both of these is still not so good looking. So waiting for a little bit of a recovery there. I did want to map out the extremes of today. Thus far, the high over here is 24,866, which is a slight overshoot of the 30-minute actually getting bullish. So a couple interesting things coming right above 24,850, technically 60, but that's the level I'm watching. It is the extended hours, as in the overnight session high, also perfectly aligning effectively with the 30-minute 50 EMA. So somewhere between 850 and 860, I care a lot about what's going on in that zone. And hopefully I could play it all the way up to there. That would be roughly, I don't know, let's just mark it out at, well, hang on. It is do I have it on this chart? No, I don't. It's roughly, here, I'll mark it out. Roughly, we'll just call it 55. That's right there. I'm kind of looking to see how the market reacts to that level. And once again, I cannot stress this enough. I get a free opportunity. Why am I calling it a free opportunity? Because my stop's at break even. If I am wrong, if there's a red dagger candle like right now and some random thing gets announced or market open sucks or I don't know, doesn't matter. I'm risking nothing. So like I'm either making money or the worst case situation is I'm out at break even. That's what I mean when I say it's a freebie trade. We're trying to break out. Looks like it's getting rejected at 800. I was a little worried about that. Looks like we have some sellers coming in at 825. So if it can hold 800, the longer it holds 800, obviously the better off for the bulls. Here's the very, very hyper zoomed in 100 tick chart. Little bit of a trend retest right there. I wish this would be holding a bit better. Honestly, what I wish was happening was we were chipping away at the liquidity here, the sell side liquidity at 24,825. So that's the skinny on the situation. The major thing you need to know is I have a long position on NQ. My stop's at break even. Obviously, I hope it doesn't hit. Obviously, I would very much prefer that it holds VWAP, breaks all the way up to this test level somewhere between 850.
Order filled.
Fuck me. This is kind of why I hate, look at that, just stopped out, break, actually a little bit of slippage. My stop was at break even at 61.50. It gave me a fill at 59, dude. This lower liquidity environment, I'm not a fan of it. Sometimes things like that can help you if you're just fortunately on the right side and you get like a magical fill, but you literally just witness it. Like I could show you. It's just this is the second time I just randomly got daggered out. Just someone is dumping all these market orders. It only happens for a little bit and then it pops. Like it just sucks. And there's not mathematically the best way to really avoid it because you never know if it's going to quickly back up. So like, if it doesn't pop, like my stop's at break even, because if it's a waterfall, well, I don't want to take on the risk. But this is one of the things why I don't necessarily love actively trading outside of regular trading hours is because the liquidity is like clearly way, way less. So it doesn't take as many orders, or especially if you're looking at the contracts and market orders, something like this, it wasn't many orders. I mean, we could literally count them up right here. You can see someone ordered out 18, 20. So that's like 40, 50, 60, 100, 140, about 180. So it's somewhere between like 175 and 200 contracts. Someone just marketed it out. It dropped. The buy side liquidity wasn't there. So obviously you drop a larger distance. And it's just that type of stuff. It obviously can happen in regular trading hours. It's literally just more rare. Fuck, it's going to trigger again. I have to take it.
Order
All
filled.
Right. Let's see.
Order submitted.
All right, we're just sticking to the system. And like I said, not the biggest fan by any means of, I guess, that's why I'm only trading one contract. I'm not going to be like ripping size. It's just right now, clearly, we've now seen it 2 times today. I've shown you 2 times in real time that there's just a lack of liquidity. Sub 200 contracts, both times was enough to drop the NQ like 20, 30, 40 points. Like it's just how it goes. Like I said, it could benefit you. You might magically be able to get a fill. Like if that's your target, you could be stoked. It does cut both ways. It's just, are you on the right side of that random move? And like I said, like I'm not complaining that like, oh, it only happens at the downside. No. It could also, like someone could just randomly market order buy 200 contracts. And before you know it, you pop 20, 30 points. It does cut both ways. It doesn't just benefit the bulls. It doesn't just benefit the bears. It does cut both ways. So it's just more of a function or an aspect of just a lower liquidity environment. Yeah. What about trailing drawdown? I like your strategy, but I have trouble getting my Apex 50K out of trailing DD. Do you not understand it? It same thing. Like inherently, you can't be going down that far if your stop's at break even. Unless you're saying that you're letting it run all the way up $2,500 and then come all the way back. That's the only situation in which that would screw you over. Of course, you're eating a little bit into it, and that means instead of being fully trend following, have a measured profit target. But once again, if your stop's at break even, you inherently can't be losing then. no matter how bad your trailing DD is, the only situation in which you would get screwed is if it runs all the way up 2.5K and then comes back down. That is like, and that's for the 50K account, whatever it is. The only time you get screwed with the trail, like think about this mathematically, the only time that would actually bust you up is if you run all the way up in terms of the buffer, like max it out in one trade and then let that come back to break even. That's the only time that it would actually screw you over. Your position just ran up $800. No, it didn't. 260. It was up before, but this is also what we spoke about yesterday. People see a little bit of green and then they're like, why didn't you take it? Why didn't you take it? Why didn't you take it? Well, because if you take profits too early, if your system is calling for you to ride it longer, which I've extensively tested my own trading system, my background's in computer science and statistics. Like I know exactly what my system is calling for. It's not just like random gut feel. It's just backed by math. If you break your system, if you take your profits too early, that's 800 trailing drawdown. I don't know what that means. Your position ran up 800. Okay, whatever. Fibonacci, you're speaking through the lens of assuming you're making money on every single trade. You're not making money on every single trade. If you think you're making money on every single trade, you're either full of shit or you're doing something where you're going for small profits, taking on large risk, and in that event, you're just hoping that you don't get the unfortunate bad beat. You might be doing a system that has a super high hit rate, but once again, if the bad beat happens, you can't recover from it. Obviously, there's an aspect of luck to that. Maybe you can run it long enough without the bad beat, or maybe there's an aspect of you getting unlucky. But once again, this fixation of focusing on like, no, I can only make money because of the trailing drawdown. I'm not going to sit here and say it doesn't suck. It does make it more difficult, especially relative to trading with your cash account. But once again, if you have a good system, it's going to work no matter what. That's what the point of like trading a good system is. So this idea of like, no, I have to trade completely differently and I'm just gonna like whatever, do it. And I'm like, I can only win. Well, most likely if you're trading that way, you're either gonna run into the bad beat or you're most likely going to violate the MAE rule, the maximum adverse excursion, and you're probably going to fall below that 30% or 50% on Apex. But once again, that's specific to Apex. Like I still very much believe if you have a quality, legitimate trading system, it's going to work anyway. So maybe you get unlucky and you have to try again, but also these evals are cheap. These accounts are cheap. And the upside is so great that like if you have a quality system, it's going to work. It's just eventually it's going to work. And it'll actually probably like once again work relatively early on. So I don't think you should all of a sudden, because of certain rules of props, be dramatically changing it. Of course, like that's not true with all the rules. Like say, for example, your trading system calls for you to swing overnight. Well, you can't swing overnight. Can you make a giveaway and give me $100? Well, no, but I can block you for scamming. Congrats, Jack. You just got banned for being an asshole. Imagine that. Like think about the lack of social ability in that particular development that we literally just witnessed. Think about the lack of EQ, like the social retardation of someone to think if I spam chat to get money, maybe he'll give me money. Like think about how fucking dumb you have to be to think that that is actually going to work in anywhere. Be like, if I just like, whether it's copy and paste or you're spinning up a bot, like think about how socially inept you have to be. Dude, this one's going to get tagged too. This is why I just don't like it. I guess technically this time I didn't get daggered out. Let me go over here for one quick second. This time I didn't get daggered out, but it's all about keeping your losses small. And I literally streamed this to you guys yesterday. If you don't believe me on this concept, you can survive many small losses. You can. And obviously the definition of small and big is going to be relative to your account and the product that you're trading and the volatility of the product. So that's a relative measure. But once again, whatever you're measuring it to, whether it's your account, your size, the volatility, blah, 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 relative to that, You have to keep it small because you could take many small losses, and then all you need is one of your normal winners to pay off all those losses and to most likely go green. So hang on, this one's I'm going to give this 1 second. I was watching this low, but because I got wicked out, I was going to give it 1 extra second just to see if it was a little fake out, but it does not seem to be it. And this is, yeah, we're right back to the point of control. We're right back to VWAP. It's about to knock me out here. Oh, fucking VWAP. It's nice when it works for you. Little fake out, breakout. Obviously, you could see the overall technical structure I was trying to play. We had these lower highs. We had these higher lows. Basically, a bull flag after a very strong bullish reaction. Trying to play this breakout. The breakout happened. We ended up just undershooting that high, which was kind of my fear of what would happen. I mean, the whole time I was saying that was my target, and we undershot it by like 3 points. We're now at VWAP, the volume weighted average price. Obviously, sellers are coming in. I just don't like this. I really don't like this position that I'm in because we're at equilibrium. It's not really the best reason to get out because you could easily bounce off of equilibrium. The issue is market open could easily wick me out, and I don't feel like taking on that much more risk is my problem right now. I don't want to increase the risk because, once again, when you start increasing the risk, that's when you start to get into like legitimate issues. Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. How do I want to do it? How do I want to do it? How do I want to handle this position? How? I have an alert going off. The 1 minute on NQ and on ES just went red. But will the dip be bought? I mean, I guess we're going to find out in about 20 minutes. How do you fix your psychology? I mean, we all have a different psychology. As much as I could explain the math to you, it's just more of that's a personal journey. That's a personal battle of like, okay, are you going to do it? Like, it's just, I mean, someone can measurably show you the quote unquote right things to do. And if you just don't do it, that's to you. Like, I mean, I don't know. How seriously do you want to take this? How much do you actually want to be successful at this? Because all of a sudden, when you start doing the degenerate things, and I'm not saying it's easy by any means, but obviously you're taking steps away from doing exactly what you know you should be doing. And obviously that's a huge problem, but there's not a magical pill or solution that's a one size fits all. It just doesn't work. Like, it takes time. I feel like it took me oddly longer than it should have taken me. And I honestly think some days I still battle with it. Like, I'm not saying that I have like this monk-like discipline and I'm a perfect trader day in and day out. I think it is like a daily battle. I don't think it's one of those things that like, well, at least for me, that's all I can comment on. Maybe there are people out there who like they figured it out one day and they never looked back. I guess I just haven't had that much of a fortunate experience where one day I figured it out and I never had to worry about it again. It's individual. The math and the strategy of good trading is actually relatively simple. I deeply, deeply believe if someone a week or a month of their life, and like, I'm talking, they didn't know anything about the market whatsoever. Like, they barely could even spell stock market. I deeply believe if you took that individual within a week to a month, depending on how much time they're putting in, but let's just even say 1 week of legitimate study, I think they could learn everything they need to about stocks and options and futures and crypto from a strategic standpoint, from a tactical standpoint, to be a good, profitable trader. I really don't think it takes that much. I think the biggest battle that takes years for people to master is discipline. I mean, honestly, folks, you hear all these stories of people saying, yeah, like, I don't know if you guys have like read the Market Wizard books or if you listen to some of the related podcasts, and you have all these people who like, they're like, oh yeah, it took me about like 3 to 4 to 5 years and then I was finally turning a profit. Like, you really think it took 3 to 4 to 5 years to learn technical analysis, to learn how to read order flow, to learn how to read a DOM, to learn what like a Vanna rally is? No. All of that stuff, like I said, you could learn in a week if you studied it for a week. What takes that long is going to be mastering your own psychology. Like it's funny, like and maybe it does exist. I've never heard of a story of a person who's like, yeah, like I started trading and a month in I was profitable and I never had an issue. Generally it's always years, like anywhere from like 2+ years, 2 years, 5 years, 8 years, 10 years. And in those years, you really think that like 10 years into it, someone's like, oh, this is a bull flag. Oh, I never realized that it was the market pops. You have lower highs, you have higher lows, and I need to buy there. And that was the magical difference. Like, you really think it took years to learn that? No. What is the battle is the discipline. And the discipline is literally sticking to the basic strategy that you know you should do. Regardless of where you are on your trading journey, you know there are basic things you should be doing. You know there are basic things you shouldn't be doing. And most of it revolves around the conversation of don't oversize, and when your risk is hit, get out. And it takes people years and years to do that. Inflation drops big. Thank God for President Trump. Dude, stop spamming that. We already covered the inflation. You're just annoying other people. And that's a weird way to say it. Inflation drops big. What does that even mean? Is that even like a logical statement in this context? Inflation drops big, as in the decrease in inflation of 0.1%. That's what you're saying. It drops big. It dropped by 0.1%, and that's something that you're spamming with a gazillion prayer hands. I'm a little confused about that. It was 0.1% lower than expected. So once again, I guess we have different opinions of what's big and what's not big. Sorry, bro, just got excited. Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to be excited, but don't lie. I think any human on this planet would understand that 0.1% is not big when you're talking about inflation. What? Are we going to have a Vanquish trade today? Yeah, we might as well. I'll start a poll for that. Market at open. It drops big. Do you use order flow or ICT? Neither. I think order flow is viable, but ICT, you're guaranteed to lose money. ICT, it mathematically is proven to lose money. The entire concept, it's really not that difficult to code it up. This entire concept of fair value gap, inverted fair value gap. He's a fucking lunatic. That guy, like, I mean, you could use it if you want to lose money. Like, I guess what's your goal? If you want to lose money, use ICT. If you don't want to lose money, don't use ICT. Find something that's actually mathematically proven to be profitable. And I get it. People in chat are going to yell at me. But Matt, this one fair value gap worked. And see, that's proof that it makes money. I don't give a shit. You think one piece of data proves that you have a net profitable trading strategy? That would be equivalent to looking at the stock market from yesterday and saying, Matt, look, it's bearish. I should have gone short at open and I would have made money. Okay, are you going to apply that to every single day? You would have gotten blown out on Friday. It's so silly, folks. The guy's a lunatic. He's never proven to be profitable. You could point to some of his students that have success, but do you know what the commonality is of all of them? They learned initially about trading from him, realized it sucked, and then they developed the concept even more to the point that they got profitable. And that's the big differentiator. If you're like, but Matt, Jade Cap got paid out $2 million. Kane got paid out $2 million. Yeah. And watch all of that stuff. You know what the big difference is they initially learned about the market from him just because he has a large social media presence, because he bought bots and subscribers. Like, he doesn't have real followers. They're all fake. They're all paid for, like just bot farms from India. So because of his social media following, he does get people interested in the market. Like, they come across it and like, whatever. Okay, that's cool. I don't mind if more people are interested in the market. But those people, which literally were listing sub 5, sub 10 people who are successful trading ICT. Well, that isn't such a good hit rate when tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people have allegedly learned from him. Think about that. Think about how horrible those particular statistics are. Like, really appreciate that. If you're like, well, hang on, I saw some success. Okay, so if you saw some, we'll call it 5 people. I'll be generous. I'll be charitable. We'll call it 10 people in this world are successful trading ICT. What does that tell you about your odds trading ICT? When there's 10 people and maybe 100,000 have learned from them, your odds are literally better off just like guessing. Pissy? How's that pissy? It's literal just basic math. It's funny how people try to attack you right away if you're just saying something that they don't like. That's not, I'm like literally explaining the math to you. So you're either a sycophant or I don't know, maybe like remedial middle school math was too much of a challenge for you. And like whenever anyone brings up basic fractions, you like shut down because you can't handle the basic math. But even like that, when I see what I assume from your name and from your profile picture that you're a grown man. When I see a grown man having the emotional stability of a middle school girl, trading's not for you. Like, I get it. I know. I get it. I know in this world, in my seat, you're supposed to say, everyone can trade. This is the key to financial freedom. Please buy my Discord. Please use my affiliate codes. I get it. I understand the pitch. I know the script. I know I'm supposed to be positive and tell everyone that the market's for them and they could be good at this too if they just learn this one thing. It's a lie. Trading's not for everyone. You have to have somewhat of a competency in math. I'm not saying you have to be a PhD level mathematician, but you have to have a little bit of an understanding of like literal rudimentary math and statistics. And then from there, you have to have some form of emotional stability to be able to handle it, because even doing the best things and the right things and being the best trader, there's still drawdowns. And if you can't handle that, which is represented by like people freaking out when you say, hey, just so you know, the math of like what you're learning is bad and I can prove it to you. And they're like, no, it's not. No, it's not. Like, it's not. It's not for everyone. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Not everyone's meant to be a trader, but is that big of a surprise? Not everyone's meant to be an NFL quarterback. Not everyone's meant to be a doctor. Not everyone's meant to do whatever, this, that, or the other thing. Not everyone's meant to be a carpenter. Might have been good for Jesus, not good for me. I don't know shit about carpentry. Like, it's all right. It is completely okay to admit that there's certain things in this world that other people are better at and some people just aren't. It happens. It happens. It happens. It happens. We're going to survive. We'll make it through it. Like I said, I did put a poll. If you guys could help me out. Ooh, that's funny. Bullish 69%. Right now, 69% of you on YouTube are voting bullish, which means that we're going to rip some calls at open if it holds, which is a big, big if. A big, big if. But anyway, Rumble, I'm going to come back to you when we get a little bit closer. Remember, we are doing a Payday Friday. That's not right. Discard. Did I update this properly? Payday Friday. That's not right. Hang on. We're missing something. I added Vanquish to this. Yeah, right here. Adding another one. So instead of 10 prop accounts, we're giving away 15. 5 from Apex, 5 from Trading Lucid, 5 from Vanquish. Right here, Apex and Trading Lucid are for futures. Obviously, you could see their current deals. Apex, 80% off the evals with code Goonie. Lucid, you're going to get 30% off with the code Goonie, and there's no activation fee. And then Vanquish, which is for options, you'll get 50% off, and there's a free reset with it. And then this is for the world of options. So Apex for futures, Lucid for futures, slightly different rules, so make sure you check those out. And then Vanquish is for options. So check it out, pinned to the top of chat, in the description of the video. We're doing a Payday Friday. I like to do it around 10:30. It's somewhat dependent on how crazy either the market is or isn't. I'm hoping by 10:30, we've already all locked in our gains and we're here just like having a good old time. So I just want to call that out. But anyway, you could go to the Twitter account at Matt_Kohrs. We're going to be giving away 5 on Twitter and then 10 in the Discord. And if you want to trade with me, GoonieTrading.com is where you can sign up. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, just come to the contact page and it comes directly to me. And I promise you, I will personally be responding. But once again, GoonieTrading.com, also pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. If you're tuning in right now, the major thing you missed out on is we got the inflation report. As you could see here, it came in low than expected. Some people in chat are saying inflation is down big, but it's literally down by the smallest measure possible from expectations because we only measure this in 0.1. So it came in at 2.5 and it got measured at, or they were expecting 2.5, came in at 2.4. I would actually argue that it's lower. I think the government reported data is complete BS, complete hogwash, if you ask me. I think it's actually a lot closer to 0.7%. I mean, if you look at Trueflation and how they come up with this information, on a daily measurement, they're looking at millions and millions of data points. And then yet the U.S. government is reporting something way, way higher. So I actually think it's being over-reported from the government. And I think Trueflation, I'm not saying it's 100% accurate, but I think it's as close to being accurate as you could possibly be. And I'm going to trust this number far more than I'm going to be trusting the BLS, which as soon as you look into how they're reporting stuff and how they collect the data, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, and we could talk about it a little bit later, but it's just nuts. So anyway, the market obviously reacting to it, but that's just because I guess it's how things used to work and how, I don't know. But I think there's a lot of respectable people who are starting to track this number, the Trueflation stats, more than the government. So anyway, just wanted to throw that out there. In terms of other news, Trump trade team working to narrow scope of metals tariffs. So a little bit of trade war tariff stuff back in the news. U.S. signs trade deal with Taiwan, lowering tariffs to 15%, while Taipei to boost American good purchases. All right, interesting. Senate should proceed with Warsh hearings for Fed chair despite Powell probe. So right now we are waiting to see if Kevin Warsh does get confirmed. So that's obviously going to lead to a couple screaming matches when it comes to Congress. Another thing to pay attention to. If you haven't already, sign up for the newsletter, mackhors.locals.com. It's 100% free. Every single Sunday, I give out this newsletter. Like I said, 100% free. Breaks down what's going on in the market, cheat sheet for all the earnings, cheat sheet for all the major macroeconomic events. As you can see today, Friday, February the 13th, a spooky Friday, you can see that we already got the major events of the day. CPI coming in lower than expected. And then this also brings me to the seasonality. I map out the seasonality for each individual trading day. And over the past 27 years worth of information, the bulls have won this day 57% of the time, marked from S&P 500 futures open to S&P 500 futures close. So they have a 7% edge. Instead of it being 50-50, it's 57%. But what's interesting about it is not only do the bulls win slightly more often, okay, the profit factor is pretty sky high, as in every dollar spent in the bullish direction has returned $2 on this individual day, once again, holding from market open all the way to market close. And then obviously here's a look at the hypothetical equity curve. The first 15 years, you could argue this day was just choppy sideways, and then it's over the past 12-ish years that the bull trend has really gotten going. Once again, this is the hypothetical return, buying at open, selling at close on the S&P 500 futures market. But you can see, yeah, I mean, there are definitely some bearish events, but overall, the bulls do seem to like to, I guess, conclude this particular trading day of the month in a strong fashion. So I just wanted to give you an idea of the short-term seasonality, but obviously what's more so going to be causing either a bullish day or a bearish day is how the market's really going to be internalizing the CPI report that we just got. Obviously, we got a jobs report earlier this week, and that jobs report was actually pretty strong. We just got the inflation report today. Both of them are good. Jobs are strong. Inflation is lower than expected. Those are measures of the economy. And remember, the economy and the stock market are correlated, but they don't move exactly in lockstep. And I know a lot of times, especially earlier in my trading career, I would commonly make the mistake of assuming just because we got either a good or a bad economic measure, that right away the market either had to go up or down. And remember, they are correlated, but they're correlated over a larger time frame. A good or a bad report in the economy could be good or bad for the stock market that day, especially the more important the report, obviously. But that doesn't necessarily mean like you have to see it right away. So definitely something to consider as today's insanity probably gets going. As you can see here, the SPY is at its closing value from yesterday. We can measure that as a form of equilibrium. SPX is currently trading at 6830, and I believe we closed at 6832. So we're at that value. Obviously, that is the white horizontal line. The red horizontal line is the low from yesterday, and then the green horizontal line is the high from yesterday. We did get hit yesterday. SPX dropped 108 points. That's a pretty brutal drop of almost 1.6%. So we're right in this zone. We're at two key levels, pivot levels. Obviously, we're within the transition zone, which is this white box. The yellow horizontal lines are all like the positions of large players. You can see we have some positive gamma at 6,800, 6,810, 6,835, all the way up here at 6,875. So maybe an easy way to summarize this is my bull case would be all these levels in succession. My bear case would be all these levels in succession. And obviously within this box, I would say, okay, I'm neutral, waiting for development one way or the other. So we're going to be waiting for market open for that. Obviously, I'll be showing you the options flow throughout the day. This is going to start printing at 9:30 right at market open. So regular trading hours, we're waiting. Come on, let's load this up. We're going to be waiting for this. A little bit later on today, we're going to be doing that Payday Friday. Like, retweet, and follow on Twitter. We're going to do some there. We're also going to do some in the Goonie Trading Discord. So that, obviously, shout out to Apex, Lucid, and Vanquish. We're going to be doing this DGen trade right at open, as you guys asked. Dude, this volatility is going to be high today. All right, let me get ready for this one. I don't want to miss it up. Okay, that's fine. I don't need this alert. All right, I'm just getting ready for this market order. You guys voted. More of you are bullish than bearish, so I'm taking the bullish trade. What concepts of order flow do you use? I'm new to this on stream. We don't quite have the time right now to fully break it down because instead we're going to be doing some degeneracy. So you're going to have to wait on that one. But order flow, that's like, we're just going to be tracking things like this. We're tracking the key levels. You're looking at, are people aggressively traversing the spread? Are they buying the bid? Are they selling the ask? Like, that's what I'm using Bookmap for. So this is a pretty advanced DOM depth of market. So you could use that. And then obviously you can also just, like, this is visually showing you order flow overlaid with where pending orders are. So you're watching the point of control, you're watching VWAP, you're seeing the sitting sell side, you're seeing the sitting buy side. It's just, you're getting ideas of positioning, I guess, in a nutshell, is the easiest way to explain this. All right, where are we? All right, I have this ready. So what I'm going to do, we have 1 minute. Why is this not going away? Okay, we did one trade yesterday, made just below 2.8K. Let's see if you guys are on the ball again today. This is obviously Vanquish. This is options trading. So what we're doing here, just a little bit of Friday morning degeneracy. You guys voted bullish, and because both Rumble and YouTube chat voted bullish, I'm going to be ripping some long calls pretty much at the money at market open. So in about, here's the time, in about 20 seconds, we're going to see how this pops off. For market ordering, I'm going to quickly see if we can make some money. And let's see. Let's see. What time is it? All right. Maybe we should get a little bit of music playing. Attention, attention. The market is about to open. All right. We have a little music. All right. We are long. Come on. What's the fill? The fill is at 2350. Let's go up to 2550. All right. We are in. Right there. Got a fill at 2350. And right there, 2.2K, like nothing. How long did that take? I was in at 9:30 and 4 seconds, and it took me 16 seconds to make 2.2K. Dude, you guys are spot on with that. Spot on with that. Boom. It took me 4 seconds to get that fill in. I was a little late, but 16 seconds later, there's the buy, there's the sell, there's the realized P&L, 2.2K. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Obviously, shout out to Vanquish. A little bit of, like I said, a little bit of degeneracy. Let me turn this down a little bit. Let me turn that down a little bit. Here, let me see where this, let's get a playlist set up. All right, let's see how the market opens. Really going to be rocking today. What do you guys want? I'm sure we have some silver traders in here because it is up a decent chunk. So calm, cool, collected. Let's see how things play out. Playlist. I'm getting random alerts. I don't like that. The alerts are probably not good for me. I still do have that random NQ long, so I am praying for a bit of a move here to the upside. I decided I had to wait for market open just because we were having clear liquidity issues. I guess outside of regular trading hours, I probably should have been doing something more so along the lines of just like little scalp plays instead of doing trend following. And I should have either been more aggressive or less aggressive. I feel like my aggression level with the stop movement was perfectly where it shouldn't have been. I should have either been super aggressive, like right away break even, or given it more room. Instead, I stuck to my normal ones, and that's where it was obviously not so ideal. We try to get popping there for a quick second. When more data comes in, I obviously will be showing you the options flow. I'm just setting up some of my charts over here. Here's what we have with options flow. Let me reload this just so you can see the opening session. SPY, I mean, we only have 2 minutes worth of data, but the SPY delta is going up. Mag 7 is going slightly down. So slightly up on the S&P 500, maybe a little bit of a curl up there on the Mag 7. I'm praying for a pop here. I'm praying for a hold of VWAP. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. This is not a normal trade for me. I'm not necessarily comfortable in this position at all. I am about to go green. Obviously, I want it to take out that 55, 56 level. And why I want it to take out that level is right here. I'm looking at the 5 minutes bullish, the 10 minutes bullish. I'm looking at the 30 minute to go from bearish to bullish, which is about 850. I'm looking for this test in the bottom left of the screen. That's what's in my mind. I was green for a second. Maybe I should have dumped it. If it fails at VWAP, that's going to suck for me. I have about a 50-50 shot. Basically, we're flipping a very, very expensive quarter right now. A very expensive quarter. Let's wait. I'm trying to be calm, cool, collected. I'm in a position I shouldn't necessarily be in, but hey, with proper management, I should be able to survive. With proper management, I should be able to survive. This is way too early for me to be trading, so let's see if I could get lucky or not. Hoping for that pump. SPX, I want it to take out 850, which is probably going to be close to the 850 on NQ, so it seems like there's going to be a decent amount. Oh, it's getting cracked here. Not good for me. We're still at VWAP. We haven't really cracked it quite yet, but I'm watching the closing value on SPX, which is this white horizontal line, and I'm watching VWAP on NQ. We're just at equilibrium. Like clearly we are not trending yet. I'm hoping the trend's to the upside, but we're going to see. SPY did pop, gave it back, but we don't have that much data yet. It's just too early. Mag 7, little flat, little down, and we're literally just at VWAP. So volume weighted average price, we're at the not only are we at VWAP, we're at the closing value from yesterday. So by many different measures, we are perfectly at equilibrium. So to have a prediction of which way it's going to break or not, you're just guessing 50-50. And hey, like if you guess it, I hope you get right. Like I'm not rooting against you. I'm just commenting on the fact that right now from market open or really overnight session until now, there's just not much of a trend. The 5 minute, it could break down. The 10 minute could break down. That would not be ideal. But if it does, I just want to get in on the next trend, whatever that may be. Yeah, I'm not 5 minute over here showing a little bit of weakness, 10 minute as well. Okay, patience. That's what we need at this point. We're 5 minutes into the day. We had a little bit of a pop, a little bit of a drop. We're kind of just quickly reverting back to the intraday low. Which also is the low from yesterday on the Qs, and we're just below the closing value on the SPY. We're not that far from the low. Fuck. I don't like this. I need a bit more patience. Hell yeah, Texas Roadhouse just emailed me. Valentine's Day special. Hell yeah, Texas Roadhouse. All right, I might get lucky with the double bottom here, or I might be getting my face ripped off. Options flow is not going in my favor on SPY or on the Mag 7. Ever since 932, 933, the delta's going down. People are selling calls on the S&P 500, and they're clearly selling calls on the Mag 7. So let's see. Let's see. How much pain do I want to take? I can't complain that much because you guys did make me a comically easy 2K on the options accounts right out of the gate. So obviously, thank you guys for that. So what am I doing here complaining when in 16 seconds you guys made me over $2,000? So I need to remember that. We got to focus on the good. And I would argue that is clearly the good. That is so evidently the good, my team. All right, dude. Today we're getting some movement. Today would be a very easy day to do the 1 day pass on Apex. You can't pass in 1 day on Lucid, just so you know, but on Apex you can. And I'm just saying, like with the movement right now, we're getting enough movement that it would be relatively simple to pass those tests. Obviously, the difficulty increases if we're just not moving at all because you need movement for something to happen. Come on. I want it. Let's get back green. I want to see the SPY get back green. I want to see the Qs get back green. But right now, we had a pop for 2 minutes, and then that was quickly faded. So let's see. We have quite a bit of positive gamma. A decent amount at 6,800, but most of the positive gamma is at 6,750 on SPX. So something to keep in mind. And then I just want to point this out to you in the, like when you really drill in, if we take out this intraday high at 6,850, I guess the pre-market high, that's a little bit of negative gamma up there, kind of opening up that opportunity for maybe the recovery to 6,900, slippery price action with positive gamma. So we have negative gamma above, positive gamma below, something to keep in mind. But for that to really matter, you'd want the flow to improve, and it's not. We just hit a delta low of the day on the S&P 500 and on the the Mag 7, excuse me. Oh, silver just got knocked pretty hard in 1 minute. Dude, the movement on silver is insane. Absolutely insane. SPY just took out the low from yesterday. Q's also below the low from yesterday. So we had a little bit of life from the bulls for about 2 minutes, and now we have lower highs, lower lows. And this is why I shouldn't be trading in pre-market. It just so rarely, it's such a rare occurrence where I'm like, yeah, I'm so happy I made that position in pre-market, because right now I'm stuck in a long position, which I guess I could cut it, but like I'd honestly be probably looking for some shorts right about now. Maybe I get lucky. Maybe there's just a random ass reversal, but I'm starting to see the 5 minute show some weakness. If it can recover, interesting. If ES, which is the S&P 500 futures market, recovers 47.25, okay. If NQ can recover above 738, which is just below VWAP, all right. So it's the cloud recovery, it's the 5 minute candle recovery, it's the VWAP recovery. Yeah, like if it can recover, maybe I get lucky. But right now, the pressure is seemingly to the downside. There are buyers. We are at, dude, this is getting cracked. What time is it? It is 9:39. I think I need to get the fuck out of this. I think I'm just holding a losing play for no good reason. All right, I just stopped being stupid. I mean, I was in a play that was like clearly against the trend, which was absolutely idiotic. So, I mean, it was like I literally, as it was happening, I was telling you guys that I was going against exactly what I should be doing. And now I need to play catch up. But I did bail on that. When that swept low right there at 940, I suppose this little 5 minute, 10 minute breakdown, 5 minute, 10 minute breakdown, like, you have to. I mean, I knew I was wrong earlier, and I was like, oh, like maybe we get a bit of a bounce here. No, like it's one thing to pray, but it's just so much better to cut it. And I wish I cut it earlier, and now I have to play catch up on the day. So hopefully, there's a nice big trend to play and to like persist here, but. It's all my fault. Like before, when someone was asking something about psychology, literally on this show, like a live streaming to you folks, of like, yeah, no, I know I'm wrong. Like I'm breaking my rules here. And like, it's weird because like once in a while it can work. And then like somehow you're like habitually teaching yourself that, yeah, like I guess if you break your rules, you might make it. But you have your rules for a reason. Like I promise you that you have your rules for a reason, and hang on. I might need to. I'm getting some alerts here. Hang on. I'm gonna take a short. Hang on. Hang on. I'm trying to manage a position. All right. I need to dial this in to not fuck this up. Shit, there's too many lines. Hang on, I need to dial this in, folks. I need to dial this in. All right, risk off the table on one of them. Hang on, I need to find my levels. It's moving a little quick. We just took that out. Hang on, I need to find my levels. What is that? That is 500 flat. What is this one? 560. That's 530. 530. Oh, is this going to hit it? Fuck, don't knock me out. Shit, knocked out on one. Once again, at break even. Is this going to fail here? So we had one break even trade. I had to fill at like 8. Maybe I should have stuck. Dude, that one's going to get knocked too. Here's the 50% retracement, this blue line. What is that high? That high is 54. Do I want to close that there? All right, yeah, knocked out. Fuck. Wow, look at that pop. It's probably going to fail too, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. It's going to fail here. Hang on, I'm just in case this is a little fake out. CT from knocked out so much. Hey, it happens. That's what the break-even trades are for. Remember, you could take break-even trades endlessly. I'm not saying it's psychologically the most fun to have, like, to be up money just for it to be break-even, but it's how you protect your accounts in the long run. Like, truly it is. Like, it is, I'll be honest, it's not the easiest thing to be like, okay, to see the break-even, but at the end of the day, you are protecting your account. Like, it's, in the moment, it's tough to deal with, but then when you see how your accounts are behaving in more of like the long run, it's so much easier to do it. It is. So I'm not sitting here saying, yeah, it's so easy and like it's fun seeing the green and then for it to not work. Why not just close one in pivoting away from your direction? I don't understand that question. Like, I'm literally showing you what I'm doing. The stop's going to break even. Folks, if you think you're a better trader with your strategy, go do it. I'm not stopping you. I'm here to share you what I'm doing, which I've like proven not only in the $1 million+ from Apex, but also like just from day over day with actual math. But folks, this is why, because you don't, I guess the best way to answer why is because you don't know the next bar. Why do I get out at break even? Yes, of course, like maybe there is that off chance that it knocks me out, wicks me out, and then it goes in my favor anyway. Those are brutal. It's going to happen. I'm not saying it's easy, but I would rather that happen where I get wicked out at break even and then I have that like, aw shucks moment rather than this right here where it just keeps ripping and then I lose the accounts. So like it's not going to be perfect. There's not going to be a setup where you're like, yeah, it just like always goes in my favor all the time. So you have to kind of pick your poison. Like there's going to be certain cons and downsides to any methodology, to any framework, to any strategy. So in my mindset, since that is just like a given, that is true. From there, you just have to pick the one that you're most accepting of. And for me, I am more accepting of getting knocked out at break even or wicked out and then goes in my favor. And I have that moment of like, oh, if only, rather than, oh, I'm going to hold it, try to give it more room, and then it just destroys me anyway. Like it right here, this would have blown everything out for me. Like it would have been over. So I'm happy I got out of one at break even. The other one had a little bit of risk, as you saw, but it's just better to do it because that's math. Like, I don't know. At a certain point, I think some of these discussions just come to like a disagreement of math. And I suppose the way I view the math of the market is you always have to keep your losses minimal. And then that gives you the opportunity to have those big gains. Where are we here? SPY did get hit till 942, a little bit of a pop. Mag 7 did get hit 942, little bit of a pop. Lower. Okay, there we go. I'm now on the proper side. So we did get a hit, and then it turned 12 minutes into the day, and we're back at the intraday high. Back at the intraday high. What in the world do we have going on today? What do we have over here? Let me check one thing. I'm looking at some of the individual option flow for the Mag 7 to see if everything's being bought up. I mean, literally every 12 minutes in. Look at this V shape in silver. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Huh? View details. Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting. Are we actually 5 minute? Look at that, a little fake out down. Maybe the 30-minute is making a run at it up here. Interesting. Wow, dude, these dumps. This is just, it's crazy. Look at that. We just dumped 40 points like it was nothing. The volatility is obviously quite high today. I think that goes without saying. We're coming up right on this potential key level of 800. There are a decent amount of sellers if you're trading NQ up here at 850. Some sell side liquidity, not the biggest we've seen, but obviously relative to the other orders, the other pending orders, it's kind of what we're checking out. All right, what do we have going on? A little bit of a dip here. How much of a dip? Buyers stepping in at 780 in real time. Just knocked those guys, took them out. Point of control is coming up here at 750. Dude, quite a bit of whipsaw. We went from 570 up to 840 down to 750. This is some large ranges we're getting. These are monster ranges all very, very quickly. That could be a very good thing or it could be a very bad thing. If you're on the right side of it, you can make your money very, very quickly. But that, I mean, look at this. Huge dump, huge pump, huge dump. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And now we're just kind of teetering around equilibrium. I'm telling you, more than normal, keep your risk in control. This is not for the faint of heart thus far today. This is not for the faint of heart today. Holy cow. Crazy to see some of this stuff in real time. A frozen screen. Oh, I'm sorry. Does this show it? Oh, here we go. Sorry. I didn't click on Bookmap. I was just kind of showing you. Well, you kind of saw it on the chart, but huge pump, huge dump. You could also see it right here on the 1 minute. Like we went from 580, which is this bottom, all the way up to 850 down to 700. Like any one of these bars is decent money, like any individual one, or you're losing quite a bit of money if you're on the wrong side of it. It's crazy. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, I'm watching VWAP right now on the NASDAQ. Well, really, it's all of this. It's will the SPY and the Qs put in a higher low? Will they stay above the low in the close here? That's the bet. Maybe yes, maybe no. Who knows? Maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe yes, maybe no. All right, where are we? We're trying to be patient. We're attempting to. Dude, I can't believe I can believe it because obviously I am a degenerate, but that pre-market trade, I hate pre-market trading. You just get so stopped out so freaking easily. And then I go like weeks or months without doing it. And then I do it just because whatever. And then I sit there and think, oh, okay. Like, I'm so surprised that didn't work for me, even though like I feel like I have enough data that over the long run, it doesn't work. It's just, I don't like it. Sometimes I don't mind trading the open. When I say open, I mean like 6 p.m. Eastern PM, like where futures like are legitimately opening. I think sometimes there can actually be like statistical opportunity there. But I don't know. Anyway, on that little drop right there, I lost some of these Lucid Flex accounts. That fucking sucks. Whatever. It's just money. You can't take it with you when you go, right? You can't take it with you when you go. Well, they were just Flex. They weren't the pro accounts or anything like that. It still cost me money, which is a bummer. But regardless. And I don't even, dude, what bullshit whipsaw. Look at that 10-minute engulfing. Oh, brother. Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, mother. Oh, mother, oh, brother. Let's see. Here's a look at the flow. Mag 7 got a huge hit. Oh, big recovery. Now flat. Looking at the S&P 500. Big hit, big pop, big hit. Doesn't know what it wants to do. I am seeing a potential higher low, but we haven't really made a higher high. So we have kind of a confusing pattern, like kind of a violent, larger consolidation that we're just waiting to see either how it does or doesn't play out, I suppose. We're waiting. Waiting. I would say we have to wait for some form of a trend and really see how the 5-minute and the 10-minute are just pinned to these EMAs, while the 30-minute and the 4-hour are clearly bearish right here. We're below all this. Like, is it recovering? Are we making this attempt? And it's true on both. Like, we're just right now, there's a lack of trend. So as many days go in trading, patience is key. Patience is key. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, mother. Oh, mother. Oh, brother. A little bit of a pop here. Hang on. I'm looking over at options. I'm seeing a little bit of life, a little bit of recovery. A little bit of life, a little bit of recovery. Hang on. All right, we're doing this. What are they talking about? Airbnb. Is there any other news over here? It might be this higher low. We might be getting ready to make this move. Maybe. Maybe. Time will tell. I wouldn't mind, actually. Do I want to play the breakout? Is anyone here thinking about playing this breakout? I'm seeing it's picking up. We do have a higher low. I guess the question is, do we make a higher high? And if we do, is it a fake out? But Mag 7 is saying it wants to test. S&P 500 could look a little bit stronger. Here's a look at the NASDAQ. It got hit, and now it's flat. So it's not, at least it's not puking, but it hasn't really recovered that strength. But maybe we just need a little bit of time. Maybe people are waiting for the potential 10 a.m. reversal or something like that. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, do I want to get lucid accounts now, these flex ones, or do I want to wait? Wow, look at that, dude. Hey, you never know when we're going from trop to trend. I do hope, if you are playing it, I hope you're on the right side of it, because this point movement is nothing to be comfortable in. We went from 730 to 800 down to 700 all within a couple. Like, this is a time to either like clearly size down, or maybe to even like just wait until you're a bit more comfortable in the trend. But these point movements are astounding. I mean, the stability has to be dropping, right? 9% stability, negative gamma. All right. It's very quickly adding up of why we're seeing what we're seeing. Very quickly adding up. That's nuts. Well, thus far, I mean, I know there's a lot of time left in the day. We're only 30 minutes into the day. It hasn't been the best for me. I'm getting a little bit whipped here and there and everywhere. But at least I hope someone in here is crushing it. Aggressively ranging. Yeah, it is aggressively ranging with just such big range is the crazy part. Such big range. That's a no trade day for me. Well, you just don't know when it's going to actually start trending. Trends lead to periods of consolidation, and periods of consolidation then lead to trends. You don't know when it's going to start, though. Just because we're not trending now, there's not like a rule that we can't start trending at 10, and vice versa. Just because you are trending doesn't mean it can't start consolidating. So be a little careful, like I suppose, with that overall logic, just because you just don't know. You don't know. That's a lot of trading, is just, I guess, accepting the uncertainty, if you will, of like, all right, like maybe shit starts, maybe it doesn't. What do I want to do here? Yes. All right, we're doing a little bit of updates. I'm trying to get these lucids back so I can trade them again. Once again, the lucid evals, they were not the performance ones. I just want to see if I could get on the right side and not be such a dipshit. This might be lower highs, and we're kind of cracking this low. It might be a fake out, but if this starts to go, that could be a decent trade. Here's a look at the NASDAQ. It's taking a bit of a hit. Here's a look at the Mag 7. It's going flat. Here's a look at the SPY. It got hit, but going flat. Looking at the SPY level, we are below the low. There is now about a 78% chance that we close below 33. Oh, I want to go over here. My data has fully disconnected for some reason. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. Let's see if I can actually, on these new evals, do something I should be doing properly. Okay. No. All right. I'm having data connection issues now. I tried to disconnect and reconnect to get those live ones. But that did not work, unfortunately. Why did it not work? I guess I have to wait. Okay. That's a bit of a bummer. I don't know. I'm just getting a weird do-do-do. I'll give it a minute or two, maybe. Maybe everyone's just trying to wait and see what the hell happens here. All right, we got that one. little bit of a pop. Okay, maybe this consolidation is about to favor a break for the bulls. Kind of watching that. Kind of watching this extreme, but it is by definition consolidation. We have lower highs and higher lows. So it was looking a little iffy there for a second, around 957, just because we were kind of sweeping it, but it just wasn't a convincing breakdown. So now we're consolidating and we happen to be right at equilibrium. Not necessarily the easiest play in the book. Definitely not the easiest play. All right, in a little bit, we're doing the Payday Friday giveaway. Like, retweet, and follow. 5 out of the 15 are going to be there. 10 are going to be in the Goonie Trading Discord. If you want to trade with me, sign up for Goonie Trading. We're giving away 5 from Apex, 5 from Trading Lucid, and 5 from Vanquish. Apex and Trading Lucid are for futures. Vanquish is for options. And thus far in the day, Vanquish has actually, because of you guys, been my only quality trade. It's 100% because of you guys that we got a little bit of money locked in on the day. A little bit of money locked in on this day. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm just waiting. I'm trying to get these Lucid accounts to be live because I blew out evals and I'm trying to get more evals right now, but it's not letting me like reconnect to it for some reason. So we're going to see how that plays out, and hopefully I can stop being a dipshit and actually trade with what is expected risk to reward. Let's see if I can actually reconnect now. It just says like pending. Let's see. Oh, okay. It worked that time. Okay, it worked that time. Maybe just in time to take a little bit of a trend. Nope. I have to sign the rhythmic agreements? Where does one do that? Where does that's I'm and that login failed. Okay. Weird. Dashboard. How do I get into my rhythmic agreements? What the fuck? Well, that's not fun. There's my user ID. I guess I have to sign a data agreement and I can't get into Rhythmic. Okay, so obviously that just is not going to be happening today then for me. It is what it is. I guess I'll figure out those Rhythmic agreements a little bit later on. A little bit later on. All right, I'm seeing this consolidation. Maybe go to the... Is it worthwhile? Let's see. The MAG 7, it did pop. It's going flat. The S&P 500, drop, pop, drop. Violently going nowhere. Okay, this is not trending. This is not trending. That's technically bearish. Not trending. Not. I think maybe the play is to wait. So maybe it's good that I can't do this right now. But how do we join the giveaway? Just follow the basic steps written in English to follow to do the giveaway. It's in the description of the video. It's rather simple. Like, retweet, and follow. And then for those of you in the Discord, I'll just run the giveaway roughly around 10:30. But this is just a consolidation nightmare. What are we doing, dude? What is this? A trend for ants? All right, maybe a little bit of a breakdown here. Do I want to try to play this? How's the flow? Oh, the flow did just take a hit. We did go below that low. The issue is if you could just get so easily wicked out by like a 20 or 30 point candle. Like, dude, these, it's been a minute for sure since we saw these types of aggressive moves. Very, very aggressive moves. Puts printing? Nothing is printing because we're not moving. What do you mean? Oh, NVIDIA puts are printing. Hang on. I might be seeing a short setup. I'm waiting to see if Icarus fires here. I'm waiting to see if Icarus fires here. It almost fired. If it does fire right here, it'd be short. Obviously, I'll let you know. You'll hear it if I take a position. Nope, it didn't fire. We reversed. Wow, dude. What is this? Maybe we're going to break down. Maybe we're going to break out. Maybe we're going to break down. Maybe we're going to break out. Maybe we're going to break down. Maybe we're going to break out. This is so nuts. Not a fun trading day. Like it's because it's whipsaw. We're just not trending. Like we're not trending. Someone said NVIDIA puts are printing. They were for a second. And then I guess again, there was a large pop. Let's see. Let's see. What do we have going on? That's a large risk. It's like a 60-point risk right now. Do I want to do that? Obviously, this is a time to size down. I think that goes without saying. Let me get the... You guys get that. We're just consolidating. Let me get this off the screen just so I can make it a little bit cleaner. I think it's pretty busy. Quite a bit going on. All right. Is the 1 minute? The 1 minute's trying to break out. It's just, I think everything is well defined today as a gigantic lack of trend. A gigantic lack of trend. The Qs got pretty close to this recent high, and so did the SPY. Will there be enough follow through? We were bad, but starting to bounce a little there. Mag 7. Is this worth it? All right, I'm taking a stab at a long. Taking a stab at a long. I got to fill at 786. And my risk is right below VWAP. So I'm trying to see, are we actually breaking this consolidation to the upside? Obviously, I'd feel far more comfortable if we take out 601.84. If we did take out 682.04. I guess the intraday high, 683.32. And then what do we have here? We also have 602.96. So we'll call that 603. So really, I'm looking for the SPY to take out 683.32, and I'm looking for the Qs to take out 603 without this retest of VWAP, which happens to be the previous day close. So why the bullish direction? Well, the 5 minute, I see it trying to go. 10 minute, I see it trying to go. And I still think maybe they want to test this 30 minute, which would be 6868 on ES. And then on NQ, same thing. 5 minutes trying to go bullish, 10 minutes trying to go bullish. And the 30 minute, it did get clearly rejected there at 850. So maybe the second time is the actual breakout. And it's also the top of the 30 minute Orbo, which would be 849. The issue here is the bottom side is 579. So it's a massive, massive range, a gigantic range. Looks like ES is about to get its 30 minute Orbo breakout. The 30 minute chart's in the bottom left of your screen. So I'm watching that, attempting to watch that. And like, who fucking knows, dude? This whipsaw. So we took out that high, but we didn't get the follow through to the previous high, at least not yet. We're looking for this breakout here of 850 on SPX, which on ES is roughly 65-ish. Remember, they're correlated perfectly in terms of their movement, but not the exact value. They are denoted in a different value. All right, I'm moving my risk up Like I said, I'm long at 86. I'm moving my risk up to 65. So now I only have 20 points of risk. Once again, I am long NQ at 86. My risk is at 65. All right, let's see. All right, we took out 800. My stop is now to break even. So it's officially a freebie play. It's officially a freebie play. We took out this high from 956. We took out this high from 956. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Horrible bar. I like that breakout, the 810, targeting 850. Fundamentals are going to eventually matter, but remember, yes, true, but they don't matter in like day trading, short-term trading. Fundamentals play out over a long period of time, not in like what's happening in the next 5 minutes, 30 minutes, 4 hours daily. It's just you need a larger time frame to see the fundamentals. Hang on, I need to. Okay. So once again, I'm playing this long. I'm long at 786. Stops at break even. I guess I'm not on the right screen to show you this. Why not? I cannot something. Oh, hang on. I'm about to get knocked out for break even unless it holds 800 here. Hang on. Like I said, long at 786.5, and my stop is perfectly at 786. I'm having some, I can't get reconnected to my Rhythmic data. The other ones are Tradevate. I'm having, it's not even a data connection issue. I use Rhythmic on FFN. I'm almost break even. Wow, I got close. It got to 89 and it didn't knock me. Like I said, my stop's at 786. It got real close. Wow. Oh, is it still going to come for me? Dude, these ranges. These ranges. Well, at least the stop's at break even, so I'm not risking money. At least yet. If I stay disciplined, I won't move it. But that got really close. I was within 2.5 points. Got as low as 789, and my stop is exactly at 786.5, which is my entry. What are we doing? What in the world are we doing? Silver, Nvidia, gold, SPX. What's moving today? Tesla is trying to recover. TSM trying to recover. Palantir. Microsoft's oddly flat. Look how tight that range is on Microsoft. Google. Meta's picking up. It's down on the day, but intraday it's picking up. It might be coming for me. You'll hear it if it knocks me out. I have the audio properly on right now. I thought I'd be protected by 800, but it's really battling it out at 800. Like, really battling it out. I want to be on this side. Yeah. It's about to knock me.
Order filled.
Fuck, dude. How many times can I get knocked out for break even today? This is just getting crazy. All right, I'm flat now. I took a stab at it, a break even trade. Wow, this is frustrating. The ATR is insane. Yes, it is. And it's because these ranges are so crazy that I really don't mind doing these break-even trades, because if I'm wrong, I could be wrong by 50, 60 points. So I'd rather just get knocked out at break-even. Was there slippage on it? Let me see. Yeah, a little bit of slippage. So these ones locked in. These ones had a little bit of slippage. $40, $40, $40. So like, oh, fuck. Did I miss? I'm going to give it a second here. I need to keep my risk as small as possible. All right, little retest though of that closing value. So maybe this is the little launch point. So both SPY and Qs are retesting the closing value, obviously an important technical, psychological, like pivot level type thing. Wow. I'm over here looking at this 100 tick, and dude, we're slicing through 10, 20 points. I thought that this craziness would stop. In pre-market, I kind of expected it, whatever, just like lower craziness. Nope, that just got hit. Well, I guess it's good I got knocked out for break even because this is still not trending. Folks, if you somehow got in and locked it in and saw green on your account today, a huge congrats to you. You might want to call it an early Friday because right now we are just not seeing any nice trend. We're not seeing any nice trend. Your take on order sitting at 24,500 on Bookmap? What's the question? There's just orders are sitting there. I mean, it's not like a deeply philosophical thing. People have orders sitting there. They might sit there. They might get pulled. I would like. I find, especially well, maybe it's because of this increase in like volatility and whatnot. People love to overthink things. Okay, sitting orders are sitting orders. Like we don't need to. It's rather rudimentary. We don't need to like overcomplicate it. It's sitting orders. There's a couple options. If we get there close in price, it's whoever's order it is, or maybe it's a grouping of orders. They're either going to let it sit there or they're going to move it. Like I don't. It's not like some deeply philosophical thing. Like what do you think is the meaning of life? They're literally just sitting orders. I already got paid at 5 a.m. and called it a day. Dude, congrats to you. Because like it's one thing if it's chop, but sometimes it's chop with smaller ranges. This is chop in terms of like hell. Like this is just huge. Look at 5 minute try to get going. Might be getting knocked right now. Look at this. It's just barcoding. Red, green, red, green, red. Do you think the next 10-minute bar is going to be perfectly green? Are we just going back and forth on this one? Look at that perfect bar coding. Red, green, red, green, red. My guess for the next bar is now green. And then my one for after that is red. I think do you think we'll just persist with this exact pattern all day? Red, green, red, green, red. The 30-minute got a fake out breakout here on ES. And it didn't even get a breakout on NQ. Patience. Is this a higher low? Are we going to hold this? Or is it about to get... We just consistently keep consolidating in different manners. Just please, I'm begging you to be careful. This isn't that time to be like, I'm sizing up. This is a strong trend. We're making money on this. It might end up happening today. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just commenting on right now. These are just indecision candles. Exactly. All these indecision candles. Full port. Yeah, you have two options. You could either size down, skip the trade responsibly, or you have to just full port it. You just have to full port it. Let's a little Kohrs on the cob here. Little Kohrs on the cob, just so we have something in the background going on rather than choppy price action. What do we have? Nasdaq, not really doing much. Here's the Mag 7. It did pop, but look how choppy that even is. SPY tried to get going, got hit right below 50. This is just pinned all day, folks. I'm telling you, feels like it's a good day to get those stops right to break even. Be a hero. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Icarus, I was going to say, is going to fire long, and we just ripped past it by like 25 points on that. Wow. Wow. Look at this shit. It's just not moving, man. Look at, I told you. Red, green, red, green, red, green. Red, green, red, green, red, green. Put Soxel on your screen. Why is Soxel doing something? No. You said it as if this would be like a big reveal of some craziness happening, and inherently you're just showing me another consolidating thing. Wow. Dude, just for that to get smashed. Wow. We go from 720 to 812 back down to 750. Imagine how much money these prop firms are making today, folks. Imagine how much money these prop firms are making today. And we're right at VWAP too. So not only are we at this clear consolidation, EMAs, but we're also right at VWAP too, and the point of control. How is maybe there were sellers at 810. Is this gonna be the day? Dude, give us something to trade. Is that gonna get cracked? Maybe a little breakdown coming? Is that gonna be the trend? Are we finally gonna snap? Nope. We came to the bottom and it pops. Just a quick 30-point pop in 10 seconds. Silly me thinking maybe we're going to break out of this consolidation and get a move. Nope. Just a quick 730 to 770 in 15 seconds. Not even. Sorry. I'm the crazy one for thinking that maybe we're going to start trending. Wow.
Whiskey in one hand, mouse in the other, praying to the market like it's my blood brother. Thought I lost it.
Well, definitely a day that tests your patience. Did Apex pay you? No, they haven't made their decision yet. I haven't heard anything from them. Mag 7's curling up a little. SPY's not doing much. We're right at that closing value at 32. Wow. Wow. All right. Well, maybe this is a good time to run the Payday Friday. Whoever told me to look at Soxel, that's as boring as it could get, dude. Gold. So everything's boring right now. TSM's catching a bit of a bid. Palantir, maybe Palantir's going to move. Kind of the highest gainer on my watch list. Oracle's catching a bid. Hood's up 7%. That's something to watch. Recovery on Hood there. Coin's ripping. Maybe we need to look at Coin and Hood. All right, got something to watch there.
Order submitted.
All right, I took a long on this pop here. I have a long at 800. 800 exactly. Long NQ, long the NASDAQ, 800, seeing if we actually get this breakout. Right now, my risk is VWAP. One contract, to clarify. With this craziness, it's one contract. One contract. I do want to try to quickly lower it when I reasonably can. I'm looking for this recent high to get taken out, and ideally the recent two highs to get taken out. Hood's going, coin's going. Obviously, the report of retail trading crypto with those earnings must have been pretty solid. I'm thinking about moving my stop up to 757 for a stop. Yes. Do I want to do it? We did took it. All right, my stop's now at 57. So I moved it up 15 points from VWAP. Once again, I am long NQ. Long NQ. Stops at 57. Do I want to go break even? Or do I want it to be at 85? Dude, that's only 15 points of risk. For this environment, it's a little early, but 15 points of risk is really not that bad. But then I'm playing the game of what if it wicks me out and then goes. I'm looking for the breakout of 850. Oh, how do I want to handle this? Not the easiest trading session, folks. And I'm still fully disconnected from my FFN. I'm having rhythmic issues, so I can't. Something with the credentials. I don't know. Something's weird with it. So that's why those are gone. Okay. My screen's frozen. Okay, that's weird. I'm really looking at this 85 level. VWAP is all the way down here at 45. I don't know if I want to risk that much. All right, fuck it. Stops at break even. Freebie trade. Freebie trade.
Order canceled. Order submitted.
All right, stops at break even, no profit target. Seeing if I can finally catch a trend, which is taking forever to develop today. Taking forever to develop today. Does anyone remember what the red dotted lines are? Yeah, it's initial balance. We talk about that daily. I love paying attention to initial balance. It's the first hour's high and low, which it's about to get locked in about 1 minute, because obviously you have to trade from 9:30 to 10:30. So we made the bottom here at 942, and as of now, the high is standing, but we're like kind of at that level. Like, see, we just pushed the initial balance slightly higher, but that high and low stops getting measured at 1030. From there, it gets locked in. And this 850 level, if I had multiple contracts, that's where I would be scaling one out. I would have scaled one out exactly at 850, stop, break even on the other. Why not keeping the stop loss up further? Because of math. I don't know how to explain it. Basic math says that this is the optimal solution in the long run. I'm not saying individually on this trade, but in the long run, this is what basic math of the market tells you to do. And when I say basic math of the market, I mean like literally just data mined information of how the NASDAQ and SPX behaves. You might agree with that or disagree with that, but I just want you to know that if you disagree with it, you're just disagreeing with how the market has played out in the past. And your argument might be, but Matt, I think it's going to play out differently in the future. And hey, that's fair. Maybe it will. So we just got the IB break to the north here. I might have to do an options trade here. Oh. I'm trying to put Piper in if you're in the Discord.
I just need a little more time, alright. I just want a little more, just a little more, and I'll make it through. Just want a little more, just a little more, and I'll pull through. Got this debt collector knocking.
All right, just waiting for this to actually trigger. Patience, patience, patience. All right, here, I'm cleaning up the chart just a little bit. Obviously, we have this recent swing low. We have the intraday high. Here's the swing low. Here is the intraday high. 5 minute, 5 minute, 5 minute, 5 minute. All right, that's a little bit cleaner, a little bit better. All right, hood's going, coin's going, maybe the market's finally going. I'm waiting for Piper to fire, and then maybe I'll sell a bit of premium. I am long NQ. Once again, I'm long at 800, and my stop's at 800. I'm currently up 80 points. Not the easiest trading session, though, in my humble opinion. In a little bit, we're about to be doing Payday Friday. All you have to do is like, retweet, and follow on Twitter. 5 of the 15 accounts will be given away there. 10 of them will be given away to the Discord members. If you want to join the Discord, GooneyTrading.com. You can sign up right now. 5 from Apex, 5 from Lucid, and 5 from Vanquish. Apex is for futures. Lucid is for futures. Vanquish is for options. So we're going to be doing that in a little bit. And then, of course, there'll be a big marble race. And the winner of that will be getting $150 of cold, hard cash. Piper just fired on that pop, putting that in there right now. And I might need to do my options trade. All right, I just got my trade in. Hang on. I'm taking a quick screenshot. If you're in the Discord, Piper fired, and I took a trade somewhat similar, and I'm trying to get that in right now. I just want to make sure I did it properly. I did do it properly. All right, taking a quick screenshot, download, save. Where are you guys? Hopefully I did this right. Did I do it right? Yes, I did. I did. Hey, I did it right. Hang on, let me just double check. All right, we don't need this. We don't need this.
Now I press one button, watch the numbers climb, make what I used to in a year before I finish my wine. They called it luck, said I'd lose it fast, but I hedged my bets, I ain't built to crash. Got charts like maps, and I read them clear. Ain't no detours when the bag's this near. They said son, money don't grow on trees, but I water my charts now it rains.
All right, I just need to throw in my profit targets. Nope, that order did not fill. Shit. Hang on. I did do it right? Yeah, I guess volatility is just that nuts. All right, just throwing in my orders. Just getting some orders in. I tend to forget about it when we all get a little too excited in here. All right, orders are in. And I'm crushing this trade. Finally caught something. Stops at break even. I'm long at 800, trading at 900. What happens if I sell at this flat?
Order submitted.
How much am I allowed to make? 4.5. All right, so I'm not saying this is actually my profit target, but this is pretty much the most I could go for. I think technically 20. So we'll do there. All right, so that's the most I'm going for. I might get out before then because we did overshoot VWAP. We got hit right there. It's still continuing. I'm not taking on any risk. Obviously, my stop's at break even. Man, this is a crazy trading day. I'm going to move my stop up. All right, so no matter what, I'm making $800 per account. My stop is $800 in the money, and my profit target max is 4.4K. If it gets rejected at any of these levels, I'm not saying I'm only letting one of these two hit. I might just close it out if I feel like the trend is stopping. But for right now, I just put that in because I don't want to go past it just because of various consistency rules. And obviously, if it cracks this low that we saw at 1030, I also don't want to be in it. So to me, this would be a definitive trend breakdown for now. And obviously, I can't go past this. So as of now, either my best is 4.4K, worst is 800, or I get out somewhere in between those two values. So just looking at that swing low and obviously paying attention to some of these like other pivot levels and whatnot. So at that point, I don't want to give that much of it back. Obviously, if I lose now, I'll be giving back over half of it, but sometimes you have to give it a little bit of room to run, especially on days like this. So I'm only trading one contract because, I mean, this volatility is just fucking nuts right now. So got a little busted up this morning, now making it back, and then hopefully definitely making some of it back on the options play. Once again, if you are in the Discord, not only did Piper fire, but did I put it in there? Yeah, my trade's in there as well. So my 0 DTE option trade, I like to, if you're new, I do trade options and I trade futures. I like to sell options premium. Sometimes, like if the signal calls for it, I will do something. Okay. Not. Sorry, I was just reading some messages in the Discord and I'm confused by some people. Anyway, I'll figure that out later. 5 minute is holding, 10 minutes holding. What I really want is for this 30-minute.
Order filled.
Did I just get knocked out at that? Dude, this is how volatile we are. So it locked in. I don't know if you guys heard that. It did lock in. I made the 800. Look at that drop. We just went from 9:30 to 8:30 in a minute, 2 minutes. Like, what's the difference between your Discord and YouTube lives? Actual education, I guess. I guess that's the best way. Better education, better insights, direct access to me, real-time trades from me. Like, as in, like, you see right when I'm getting into trades, right when I'm getting out of trades, that type of stuff. Hey, Matt, if you weren't trade copying on Ninja, would you still use this to trade a single account for NQ? If you weren't trade copying accounts on Ninja, would you still use what? If you weren't trade copying accounts on Ninja, would you still use this? What's the this in this statement? I guess I'm not following on that one. Would you still use this to trade a single account for NQ? I don't know what the this is in your statement. Is this Ninja? Would I still use Ninja? Yeah, Ninja's a fine brokerage. Yeah, Ninja's fine. TradeStation's fine. I don't know. Those are the two things where I trade futures, are Ninja and TradeStation. Ninja's really good. Ninja's fine. It's good. I don't know what makes it really good. It's a fine brokerage, which is good, I guess, relative to the fact that there are brokerages that are like dog shit. So like, I'll give them that. Like, I do like Ninja. What I don't like is the fact that this 30-minute is not like in the breakout.
One bad trade, one last mistake, and it all came crashing clean.
But in terms of futures, yeah, I use Ninja the most. In the past, I have used TradeStation. I have to admit, in terms of customer service, I've had easier times with Ninja, but I did start my initial trading career for futures with TradeStation. Is your strategy on YouTube? Depends which one you're talking about. I have many strategies. Many, actually. Dozens of strategies. So are some on YouTube? Yeah, easily found. But not, I can't say all of them are. I mean, this is what I do. I do strategy development any day that I have free time.
I was chasing gold on a crooked road. Didn't see that it was paved in dust. But the good Lord knows, and the wise man says that a fall don't mean you crushed. Lost it all in the blink of an eye. Burned my wings on the way to the sky. But the sun don't shine on the reckless kind. Had to learn how to fall just to rise. Now I'm
Here's a look at flow. There was a nice flow alert at 1028. It was a decent amount of call buying and put selling, and it's now kind of gone steady. Mag 7 caught a similar pump starting here at 1022 to about 1034. A big pop in Delta, giving a little bit back. Looking at the NASDAQ, Matt, can you take a look at RUM? I read that there are big money freaking out about AI and retail is buying AI. I mean, you can read anything on the internet. That doesn't mean anything, really. You're just going to believe everything you see on the internet. Can I look at RUM? Yes. Daily chart, try to get that breakout. Right now, I'm looking for this higher low, but I'm looking for it to recover the 50 EMA. I don't actively trade Rumble. I have Rumble as an investment. I'm still in the stock, but I don't actively trade it. So when I'm investing, I care about the fundamentals of the company and where I see it going. I don't look at the day-to-day movement of it, but if I were actively trading it, I'd want this breakout above the 50 EMA. I'd want the breakout above the recent high, which is why I have an alert pretty much there. Little bit of a hit from, we finally got a bit of an expansion. This pullback is we're coming right back. Holy shit. I kind of wish I played this. Someone in chat asked if we're recovering all the way to VWAP. We're now pretty much at it. We fell from 930. We just hit 770 and VWAP's at 750. What time is I'm kind of watching. What I'm like awkwardly looking at is the 50% retracement is at 724, and then we have VWAP at 754. I'm wondering if this it's worthwhile to buy this dip. I'm watching this region between 754 and 724. So base here, I'll draw this out on my screen. This is what I'm paying attention to. This zone right here. It's just equilibrium in terms of 50% initial balance. It's equilibrium in terms of VWAP. I'm watching this zone in between these two bars. All right, here's the dip. All right, we are coming very rapidly. We just crossed VWAP at 54, and we are coming up to the initial balance, which is this blue dash line. That's the 50% retracement of the IB high and the IB low. I might take a little bit of a stab at it here if I see a bit of a reversion. I'm watching this. What was it exactly? It was 2450 is perfectly 2450. Well, good thing I locked in my money. Is anyone else doing this? I feel like this is degenerate, but I kind of want to take a stab at it. Am I a crazy person for trying to go long here? Got hit. Got hit. That's testing. That's testing. That's testing. That's testing. It's not that bad of risk right now. It's a little degenerate though. And I feel like I just got done being degenerate. I mean, this is... I'm torn on this one. I'm torn on this one. Quite the pullback. I guess that got smacked right there. What is that? That's 60. All right, so we shot below VWAP, the volume weighted average price. We pop back up, got a bit of a rejection there, and right now... we're right at IB. The initial balance 50% retracement. I wonder. As you can see, I haven't done anything yet right now, but I am getting tempted. I just want to see if some buyers actually step in. So 730 or below VWAP here. Some buyers at 720. So there's seemingly an attempt to protect this 50%. Once again, this blue dash line is the 50%. This recent high is 60. VWAP is 754. Remember that. We're in this like awkward 30. I am being tempted, folks.
Order filled.
All right, we're taking a stab at it. I think it has acceptable risk. I'm risking less than what I'm already up on the day. I'll put it to 19. I'm going to give it a little bit of leeway. This is not a bread and butter play for me by any means. I know this is a common strategy of wait for the 50% retracement. Maybe. I'm basically saying we're not going to break VWAP and we're going to recover from here, which it's good, but it's bad. So it's good in the sense that if we do break, instead of me going long at 800, I have a fill 50 points earlier. But the bad part is we're not necessarily getting the signal that we're actually reversing here. So your accuracy is less, but your risk is also less, which is the common trade-off. The common trade-off is you could take on less risk, but you're going to be less accurate. Should I move my stop to break even now? I'm watching this. We tagged VWAP. We made a sweep low. We recovered. I'm looking at this recovery. I need it above 800. Come on. Come on, 800. And then I want to see it push back up to the IB high. I wanted to see it hold and get above 800, and then I'm looking at 870. All right, my stop's going to break even. All risk is officially off the table. Hey, that worked out. Maybe this should be a bread and butter trade for me. That's not something I commonly do. Generally, I wait for momentum to turn up a little bit stronger. But like I said, on days like today, I would have had a 45-point worse fill. Even if I got in somewhere between here, 790 and 820, maybe my risk would be 774, but now I'm long at 755. And obviously I was taking on risk, like right there. If it didn't recover, I mean, it could still sweep me out or some shit like that. Like this could be the fake out recovery. I just know all risk is off the table. So once again, just to clarify, when you do things like that, it's always a trade-off in the world of trading. If you take on less risk, as in, okay, I was basically saying this is the end of the sell-off trend, great, you have less risk, but also the chance of you being right of like, oh, it's going to recover there is also less. There's not really a chance that you can take on less risk and also increase your accuracy. Generally, that's the balancing act. So you could wait for a stronger signal, but then generally you're farther away from your risk point. It doesn't commonly work in the way of, oh, no, I have a better signal in terms of accuracy and I'm taking on less risk. That's not generally the trade-off. So on this one, most of the time I err on the side of I want a stronger signal and I'm willing to take on a bit more risk, and then I move my stop to break even when the signal proves to be right. If it proves to be right, obviously the risk there is if it's wrong, I take a bigger hit. This type of a trade, which once again, just to be clear, is not my bread and butter trade. There was the chance of me being right was less, but I was also taking on less risk. So that's the balancing act there. Please move your stop further. Why would I do that? I feel like people, a lot of the times you're coming into this game without set. Like, okay, you might be right. Who said that? Brian, you might be 100% right. But you would have to show me some sort of mathematical evidence of why right now is the time to do it. The mathematical evidence I have is Icarus. I've done a bunch of back testing. I see what's going on and it tells me when to update it. And I'm very clear and transparent of when I'm front running it. I'm like, you know what? Icarus hasn't fired yet. We haven't gotten enough of a movement. There's not enough of an ATR push, but I just don't want to take on risk. So like, I try to be transparent, but this idea of just move it because you see green, that is not good math. That is not quality trading. That's lack of discipline. That's lack of emotion. You're not sticking to a system. You're just hoping you did the right thing. And once again, I'm not perfect. I don't have monk-like discipline. There's sometimes as early as today, like literally this morning, where I'm breaking trading rules and then it cost me accounts. So that 5 accounts, $200 each, that cost me $1,000. That's silly. So I guess I'm not saying this from the point of like, I am a perfect trader and what I say goes. I'm just saying it from like, okay, if we're working together as a community, the Goonie trading community, to be better than this, we have to base it on something that's measurable, because other than that, it's just gut feel. And then how do we measure Brian's gut feel on a day in, day out basis? Like, do we know it's good? Do we know it's not good? Like, you have to give me some sort of pitch, whether it's you have a strategy, whether you think there's better math in like a particular update of risk management, whether you're seeing something in options flow. Like, we have to have something empirical that we could base this off of. Our chart shows trend. Well, technically, all time frames can show a trend. What if the math were 1 point above break even to the account for slippage and commissions? Yeah, you could do that, I guess. That's more of a psychological thing. That's one extra point is not going to be the difference between you being profitable and not. What do we have here? I got stopped out because I didn't want to go into drawdown and miss the huge move. That's fine. That's okay. Don't beat yourself up. That it's better to be out at break even and miss a quality move than not have moved it and be in a massive losing trade that you shouldn't have been in. That's like, it's going to happen. Jen, don't hold yourself to that standard of like, I need to win on every single one. No, you took your risk off the table. I hope it was in alignment with your strategy, but you can't do this woulda, coulda, shoulda thing, because what if you got knocked out and it just kept vomiting? You would have been like, oh, good thing I got out because this could have been really bad. So this idea of judging the quality of your trade based on the outcome of the trade and not based on the things that you control, i.e. your risk management, that's I guess my effort when I try to teach retail traders like what's going on. You can think about what you can actually control. You can actually control your risk. That is up to you. Day in and day out, that is within your capabilities. What you can't control is your profit. You don't know if it's going to keep going. Like, the only thing we can control truly in trading is our risk management. You as a trader get to set where your risk is. You get to update it. That's what's in your control. You can't wave a magic wand like Harry Potter and make it go more and more in profit. Profit is not in our control. Risk is in our control. I find too many retail traders get hell-bent on focusing on things out of their control, and they don't spend enough time focusing on what's in their control. Risk is in your control. Profit is not in your control. You can't make the market go higher or lower or do whatever you want. Why did that? What the fuck are these emails? I guess we're going to find out. I might move my risk up. Speaking of that, just in case, if this sweeps 94, I mean, this is now what, the 10th time today I've been trying to protect my trade at 800, and it's just, we're real sketchy. But no matter what, I've already made $750. This trade's going to be 500. So no matter what, I'm making 1,200 per account on the day. But once again, I'm in control of my risk. And if it keeps going, if we take out 860, guess what? I'm moving my stop up to like 91, 92. I'll use that low if we can take out some of these recent zones. Like I'm looking basically at 846. I'm looking at 860. I'm looking at 903. I'm looking at this high, these lows. I'm just looking at the pivot points. And as we take out more and more pivot points, I'll move up accordingly. And once again, I'm only in control of this. If I could wave a magic wand and make it go higher, dude, I'd push this up to 25,000 right now. I'd push SPX all the way up to 6,900, 6,950. Folks, if I had that power, I would do it. I would abuse it. I would make myself money. I'd make you guys money. I would do a lot of fun things. But at least currently, to my knowledge, I do not have that capability, and I don't think anyone on this planet does. Right here, I wouldn't let this happen if I could control it. That sucks. Sucks for me. But this is why I'm attempting to protect myself. Oh, that doesn't feel so good. That doesn't feel so good, team. Uh, 5 minute is trying to hold bullish. 10 minutes trying to hold bullish. 30 minute got severely rejected on the NQ. 5 minutes trying to hold bullish. 10 minutes trying to hold bullish. 30 minute got severely rejected. Mag 7 flow got rocked, popped, sideways, popped, rocked, now grinding up. S&P 500. Very slow to react. Choppy, pop, drop, sideways. We are having the worst time breaking above 850. If SPX can get above and close above that, we tried before. It was quickly faded. I would love to see it recover above 62. My next clear target would be 75. If you're a short-term bull and you need a target, I like 75. Why do I like 75? Well, I can see it's a pretty giant positive gamma node, but first we have to get above and hold above 50. So literally, it's an if-then statement. If SPX gets above and holds above 850, I am then looking for 875. It's as simple as that. And then, of course, that I have additional levels. The next major one is 6,900, so you might want to front run it by a little bit. But that's a big if. Like, you obviously want options to trend. You want options to trend. But the big thing here, folks, I promise you this just from knowing the odds, you want this breakout. ES you want it above 6881. You want it above that, holding above that. NQ, you want it above 928. Not only is that a high, so you might be thinking, duh, man, of course we want a new high. I'm saying this is the transitional bar from bearish to bullish. It's a big deal to get above that, or if you're breaking down below it. So right here, not a good sign at all if NQ breaks below 721. Not a good sign. Well, not a good sign for the bulls. It's a good sign for the bears. So it's a pretty bearish signal to get below and close below 721. It's a pretty bullish signal to get above 92850. And then obviously it cuts both ways on NQ and ES. Above 881, great. Below 42, not so good. That's a failed breakout. By definition, a failed breakout has to be bearish. Obviously, if that were to happen, the 5-minute and the 10-minute would be pushing bearish. The 5-minute and the 10-minute would be pushing bearish. And right now, we just have that in-between data set. 5-minute, 10-minute bullish. 5-minute, 10-minute bullish. However, 30-minute, 4-hour bearish. 30-minute, 4-hour bearish. So the shortest trends, shorter time frame trends are bullish. The medium ones are bearish. So like, who's going to be right? Are these going to convert to bullish, or are these going to get smacked and go to bearish? That's what we're waiting for. Mag 7's not really showing much of an indication. NASDAQ is showing a little bit of strength. SPY is also showing a little bit of strength. So I give an edge. I give like a 5-10% edge to the bull camp, but that's about it. And is my stop? Okay, my stop is in the money. I just wanted to double check that before we do the Payday Friday stuff. So like I told you, I want to see us take out 845. We just got clearly smacked there. I want to see us take out 860, which is pretty much IB. So really, yeah, I want to see 850, but I care a lot more about 870 if you're trading NQ. 870 is the IB high. That's what I'm looking to get above and close above. And then obviously that would set up the intraday high. But this red dash line is the top part of IB, the initial balance. That is the high and the low. That's what we call IB. It's the first hour from 9:30 to 10:30. It's the high and the low of that trading period. So a lot of people have a lot of strategies. There's a lot of, I don't know, reactions to it here, there, and everywhere. So that's what I'm looking for. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. If I'm right, great, I make money. If I'm wrong, I still make money. I honestly could probably move this up a little bit. Let's make it say 500 flat. No matter what, I make $505 on top of the $750 I'm in. So no matter what, I'm making $1250 today. Okay, so like, I just want to be clear that my stop is in the money. If it runs, great. If not, whatever. At least I somewhat survived this day. To be fair, though, just to be transparent, I did lose some of those Lucid evals. These are new Lucid evals, so I would love to run them up. They weren't funded accounts, so like it's not that big of a hit psychologically, but it still sucks. It still like costs you money. So I just want to be clear about that. All right, folks, let me turn this down for a second here. We're going to start the Payday Friday. So you still have a little bit of time right here. Matt_Kohrs on Twitter, or it's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. We're not giving away 10 prop accounts the way it says. We're doing 15. 5 from Apex, code Goonie, get you 80% off. 5 from Lucid, code Goonie, get you 40% off and no activation fee. And 5 from Vanquish, which is for options trading, code Goonie will get you 50% off and a free reset. So we're giving away 15 prop accounts. 5 from Apex, 5 from Lucid, 5 from Vanquish, and then we're also doing $150 of cold hard cash to the 15 winners. So 5, 5, and 5. 5 are going to be given away on Twitter. 10 are going to be given away in Discord. If you're on Discord and on Twitter, you're allowed to throw your hat into the arena for both. So on that particular note, giveaway duration, we're going to do 5 minutes. Winners, I need 10. And then prize, you're going to be a racer. Okay, so this is in general, and it is going. Uh-oh, hang on, that did not work. 5 mins. Okay, if you are in the Discord, am I sharing the right screen? We are live. This is running. It is, you have whatever, 5 minutes. I think all you have to do, did that go? Here, everywhere. I think you just have to, react with an emoji and you'll be in, and that's how you get in. So that is live. And then in the meantime, let me do the Twitter picker. All right. And once again, everyone, all you had to do is like, retweet, and follow. Close pop-up. I just need to get this actual link. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. All right, we're going to do 5, must follow at Matt_Kohrs, and we're going to change the settings so everyone is welcome. All you have to do is you could have any tweets, any, has to be older than 1 week, and you have at 0 followers. All right, so these are going to be 5 of the 15. We are picking a winner. Go, 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 go. Best of luck, best of luck, best of luck, best of luck. How are we doing? How are we doing? All right, there we go. Tom, D. Will, J. Tuno, Rules, and then Air AJ. What are all these names? So we have Tommy, we have Damien, we have Jen. Jen, you were just in here chit-chatting. Jen, Rand Hev, Rules. Okay, I like the pick. And then Raj. All right, engineering professional. Sweet. All right, so we have 5 of our 15, and then the other 10 are being, hey, Stinky Pride, my reward is 60 months of this. Hell yeah. Jen, you're involved, and congrats, you won a Vanquish account. So if you see your name right here, Tommy, Damien, if you're one of these 5, Jen, I'm talking to you, make sure you go follow the Vanquish account because they're going to be reaching out to you right here. So just make sure you follow Vanquish Trader on Twitter so they can DM you at Vanquish Trader. So make sure you follow them. If you are one of these 5 people, make sure you follow Vanquish Trader so they can actually DM you so they can give you your free account and stuff today. All right, so we did that, and then we are waiting for the people in Discord. If you are on the Discord, it looks like you have 3 minutes left. All you have to do is react with an emoji. People are popping off, doing their thing, and then obviously we're just going to be waiting for that. As we are waiting for that, let me get the game up and running. Let's get the game, view game libraries, marbles on stream. All right, we're doing that. We're booting this up. How are the positions looking? Oh, shit, we're making money. All right, so we did take out the 850. We take out the 840, the 860. And then, like I said, look at right where we had the reaction. Pump, pump, pump. Is anyone surprised that we reacted right at the initial bounce? Very popular level. I commonly get the question of like, why do people react to it? It's one of those things that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Just because so many people are talking about it, that gets other people to pay attention to it. And when people are paying attention to it, that is exactly where people react. And then that's how you get a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's exactly how you get a self-fulfilling prophecy. All right, so those are our 15 spots. Let me move. All right, that's going to keep rocking. So we're going to let those gains ideally grow. And it's just risk management. Don't think today was an easy trading day. It wasn't. It was quite a bit of chop with very large ranges. It was kind of a brutal day, to be completely honest. So if you're holding yourself to the standard of like, yo, Matt's making money, why didn't I make money today? Dude, I'm fully admitting like there was quite a bit of luck involved in this particular action today. Quite a bit of luck. If you are in the Discord, you have 1 minute left. And while we're doing that, let me enter the first 5 people we have. We have Raj. We have, what do we have? Rules. We have Jen. All right. Jenny. Damien. And then we also have Tommy Gun. All right. And then I am just waiting on the winners from the Discord. You have 23 seconds left, 22 seconds left. So that's going. We'll minimize that for a second. Crushing it. Obviously, I am looking for, at this point, the intraday high. If you don't have an alert set there, you are one silly goose. My stop, I am moving up to 90, as I said, 93. So no matter what, I'm making 760. I already locked in. So we're a $1,500 day minimum. I guess I could theoretically close it right now, but what if we run all the way up to 25,000? So my stop's in the money. We're going fishing. That's how I like to trade this. You never know. I think we won. I think we have our winners right here. Congratulations. Crazy. All right, here's all the winners. We have Crazy. We had Kuda Gun, Crispy, Matty F. Me. Dude, you always win. Chrono, Tony, Shake and Bake, Homestead Homie, Maverick, Spikeser. All right, you guys are the 10 winners. So you're getting some form of an account and you might get some bonus money. So let me put all these people into the race. Let me update this as well so you can see what's happening over here. Hopefully I don't get knocked out as this is happening. But we have a crazy. We have Kudu. We have Crispy. We have Maddie. We have Spike. We have Flux, Chrono Flux. We have Tony. We have Shake and Bake. We have Homie. And we have Maverick. All right. We have our 15 players. Finish. Race. Random map. We are doing few will survive. I think we've done this recently and it ended very poorly. I think only maybe like 1 or 2 survived. So we're going to see how it plays out this time. Hopefully something a little bit better. But hang on. Let's do this. Play. Let's get that rocking. All right. What's the song we need? We need a good hype song. All right. As I'm getting this ready, folks, you see the 15 competitors. 15 of the fastest racers from all of the land. And my question to you is, who do you think is going to win? Who do you think has been putting in that extra practice? Who do you think has that grit? Who do you think has their mind in the game today? That's the real question as I try to find the perfect song. All right, I already have it. I already know the song we're rocking today. So let your votes be heard. Let your voices be heard. Oop, actually, very quickly, just to show you, I'm about to get stopped out unless we bounce off of 800. Just another brutal. Look at these ranges. We went from 725 to 890 down to 800. This is just maddening. Absolutely maddening. Once again, my stop's in the money. Worst case situation for me is I'm making 1,500. I want that to be clear. Maybe I get lucky and it bounces from here and then I move my stop up. That's intentionally why I might stop below 800. But if it does crack 800, naturally you'd either look at 725 or you would look at VWAP, which is 760, which is where we bounced before. But who knows if buyers are going to step in again. So I just wanted to show you, I don't have a profit target. I do have a stop. The stop's in the money. Maybe I get lucky here. Maybe we bounce 90 points and go from 800 to 890 to 900. But this is crazy. I mean, I always think this is the best trading advice, but on a day especially like this, size down, get your stop to break even or in the money as quickly as you can, because this is just nuts. Absolutely nuts. So anyway, on that note, let's get ready with the race. Let me get the song going. Folks, please put your hands together because we are rocking in 3, 2, 1. And we are off. Who is going to get the first drop? Who is going to go down the funnel? Who's going to go? Who's going to go? Who is going to go? Woo! Woo! Who's going to go? Who's going to go? Who's going to go? Let me make sure this is exactly the way it should be. Let me make sure. All right. We are live. We are live. Maddie potentially making the first move here, followed by Maverick. Raj is right there. Maddie making the first move. Maddie making the first drop. All right. Remember, the name of this particular track is Few Will Survive. If you look in the top right, we're probably going to see a lot of death notifications. Maddie getting slowed down. Crispy taking the lead. Crispy, followed by Maddie, followed by Maverick, followed by Spike, followed by Shake and Bake. Crispy catching the speed up. Will he stay on the track? Yes, staying on the track. Oh, Maddie not surviving. The first death is Maddie. So maybe curiosity did kill the cat. Crazy jumping off the track with Jen and Maverick just to still stay alive. Once again, we have 3 racers. Oh, Rules just died. Homie died. Damien died. Uh-oh. Crazy and Maverick and Jen all jumping off the track and saving themselves. About to make a big jump. All right, Maverick, can you finish? Maverick! Maverick! Oh, Maverick! That close. Kudu, you made it. Jumping out of nowhere. We have a winner. We have a winner. It could have been Maverick. He was off by millimeters, folks. Flux, a very respectable second place. Dude, Maverick, you were right there. You overshot it by a little bit. Kudu, congratulations. That victory is yours. And honestly, only 2 survived. You had 2 out of the 15. So when they say few will survive, they are not joking around. We only had 2 survivors. So I honestly feel like Flux still deserves a round of applause. I actually deeply believe that. What a race, what an opportunity. Folks, join me in a little bit of a round of applause. That was a quality race. That was very much a quality race. A lot of death. We're going to have to very much make sure that the insurance is up to date because it's tough to get away with all those deaths. But anyway, look at that. We bounced right off of 800. This is why I put my stops just beyond key levels, because you never know. I could have been wicked out at, like, if I used, I don't know, one of these random lows, I would have been wicked out and it bounced 50 points anyway. So if I want now, I could update this again. I can move it up a little bit, 98. So now I'm guaranteed 860. I've already locked in 750. So we're making 1500. If this reverses and puts in a lower high, it's probably coming for me. Let's be honest. But maybe this is just a double bottom low and we're coming right back up to 890, which I would love this recovery above the initial bounce. That's what I'm looking for. So just wanted to put that out there. But you guys can see it. Just trying to be as transparent as I can. I did lose some Lucid accounts today. Got those back. Second batch trading well, currently up 2.5, but the game's not over. That could be higher, that could be lower. All I can tell you is the worst case scenario for this realized P&L on these 10 accounts is going to be 1.5. I did have FFN accounts this morning. I can't reconnect. I'm having some sort of connection issue to Rhythmic. I logged into the dashboard and it said something about like signing new certificates, or I don't know. So I need to look at, maybe it's the data agreement for 2026. So I'll figure that out. But anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know where this is at, where my stop's at. Obviously in the Discord, you already know the trades of the day. Piper did fire. You see my personal trade. How is that looking right now? I am currently up. I'm green. I'm up 450, up 750, up 500. So I sold some premium at $1 and I have my profit target already in, and we're seeing how this all plays out. But folks, when it comes to me and trading, I've tried it in the past. I've tried this idea of gut feel, and it turns out I do not have a gut feel for the market. I do deeply believe that there are some people in this world who they have some discretionary ability. I've seen it before. I believe it. I think it's few and far between, and I also identify, more importantly, that does not exist in myself. I do not have random gut feel on the market that's going to make me profitable. Like I said, I do believe it exists. I think it's just a very, very rare trait. So for me, I have to stick to basic math. And most of the time that comes down to proper risk management, and you just have to play it accordingly to survive the marathon that is trading. And that's exactly what I do with Apex, Lucid, Vanquish. They're all the sponsors of the day. And if you want to know more details about my futures trading, options trading, if you want to be part of the best trading community, goonieTrading.com. But before you sign up, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me right here. Just come to goonieTrading.com and go right to that contact page. And this comes directly to me and I will be responding. Folks, what I really want to say to you is thank you. The week's been awesome. This saga with Apex has been awesome. And I guess I'm at the close of a chapter. Not only am I simultaneously at the close of the chapter with Apex as I'm waiting for their decision on the $1 million payout, but I'm also on the close of the chapter for this studio. I'm moving. We're put in this current apartment in the rear view. I'm moving tomorrow. It is a 3-day weekend, which is why I'm moving this weekend, just so I have more time to get moved in. The market is closed on Monday in observation of Washington's birthday, aka President's Day. So we're going to be back streaming live on Tuesday. Between now and then, across all of our channels, we have a lot of content already filmed, so that's going to be coming out. So make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, all that good jazz. Other than that, in the meantime, I'm going to be in the Discord for the remainder of the day as I start packing up a little bit here. But I just wanted to say thank you. You guys are the fucking best. I know today wasn't the easiest trading day. I hope you're making a shitload of money. I hope you see the gains I'm making, and I hope in your account it's multiplied by 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Shout out to everyone who participated in the marble Bulls race today, I'll be reaching out to you, especially you, KUDU, Kudu, whatever it is. You won extra cash, and everyone else, if you were in the race, you already won a prop account, so I'll be reaching out to you. For the winners on Twitter, make sure you follow Vanquish. Other than that, you guys are the fucking best. I appreciate all the good vibes. We're going to be streaming again on Tuesday. Like I said, other content coming out. And with the respect for the remainder of the trading day today, size down, keep your risk manageable. And when you think it's trending in your favor, I think I just got knocked out. Did I just get knocked out? I did. Yeah. That little sweep just knocked me out in my little exit here, just to show you guys what's going on. Knocked out 1,500. I might be done on the day. Locked it in. Maybe if I see an opportunity, once again, if I can see a low risk opportunity, I'll take advantage of it. But I just want to let you know that I did get knocked out locking in that 1,500. Anyway, folks, that's what I have for you. I appreciate all the good vibes. I'll catch you on the flippity flip. Peace.